take it to Carmel? Or how do you say that? See, I'm from the South. Kamal? Kamal. Yeah, as people say on GPS, Bexar County. Oh, and probation, this is no app. I'm glad you're in the passenger seat, Roger.
I apologize, Judge.
Oh, no. I just don't want people driving and you're not, so that's good. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 3413A, State of Texas versus Abel Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
David Cavazos for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Roger Pettis.
All right, Attorney Pettis is by Zoom because he had a court date in Comal County. Any objection to his appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
And are you Abel Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to your to your attorney appearing by Zoom?
Not at all, ma'am.
All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, state it will waive and abandon the enhancement paragraph, thereby proceeding on just the indictment without the enhancement paragraph.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of engaging in organized crime as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did not. Yes.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on the indictment, of course, waiving the enhancement paragraph. Punishments be assessed at 180 days in the state jail facility. There's a $1,000 fine, no applications. The state will take in consideration County Court Cause number 696-597 and 696-598. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of repeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, ma'am.
State any evidence?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 with its attachments, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
I did, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just, Your Honor, he's been very remorseful. He's turned his life around recently. He's had a brand new child recently that I think has probably galvanized the concept for him to get back on the straight and narrow, Your Honor.
All right. You have a new child?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. How old are you?
52.
All right.
Had a little baby girl in January.
Ah, what's her name?
Rebecca. Name's Rebecca Garcia. Changed my whole life.
All right. Is this your first child?
No, ma'am, it's not. It is not.
Why does it take this new child to change your life as opposed to the others?
To be honest, it was me and my girlfriend. We've been working on this, and we've come a long way. And I'm blessed with. I mean, I wish I could be there with her these days, you know. But I'm so blessed to just receive such a small sentence with my record, you know. And I've come so far. I've come so far, and I've changed my life, and I'm just so happy.
All right. And the people who are involved in this with you are those, do you know any of them?
Well, through just, acquaintances, seeing them there, having the same habit that we had, which was gambling and stuff, and
Mhm.
I said, me and my girl, we've moved on from that, and we've got.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration county court cause number 696-597, 696-598. There's a $1,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's to be no contact with Gilbert Barrera, Nicole Casimiro, Celestina Gonzalez, and Anthony White. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Counselor, could you give that to him, please? And if you have the dismissals, I sign those. All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record to say you change your life. You need to continue to do that. If you have no intention on being a fine, upstanding citizen and being a role model to your daughter, don't do this thing where you breeze in and out of her life causing drama, trauma. You understand?
Understand, clearly.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would be a great father too.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, you may be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks for your patience.
Oh, you're welcome. Tell Comal County I said hi.
I promise I will, Your Honor.
All right.
Use the mics for Diana, please.
Never.
Okay. All right, then.
Yeah, but this. Yeah. Okay, just keep it handy. Yeah, John. The audio stays in. And make sure that name. Say make sure that we're keeping the. So this is gonna be the. This is the.
There's soda in the back. There's a Coke. There's a bottle of Coke, but I don't think it belongs to anybody.
Okay.
We'll go check on the jail.
All right, thank you. As soon as Diana's back, we'll start. Okay. See?
Thank you. Oh, no, you gave me a bunch yesterday. Thank you. Oh. No, he's good. You don't need it. No, he's fine.
I was gonna say Hank Wilkins for the defense. What the hell?
State, if you already have your witness, if you want to have them sit in here.
And Judge, before we put the witness on, we want to just kind of address one thing real quick.
Okay, just one second. As soon as she's ready to go on the record, we'll go on the record.
Sure.
And I'm assuming it's something that nobody wants the jurors to hear, right?
Correct.
So if you all will approach, because they're in the hallway.
Sure.
I'm ready whenever you are. All right, we're back on the record in 2019 CR 7466, State of Texas versus Roger Saucedo. If I could have parties announced for the record, please.
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Leo Gonzalez for Roger Saucedo.
All right.
So Judge,
And Mr. Saucedo is here and the jury is not in the courtroom. Yes, defense.
Your Honor, there is
Just give us 1 minute. Yes.
a one of the officers who was involved in this incident at the hospital is been put on the state's witness list. The state has informed me they're not intending to call that person.
Mhm.
We would just like to have them relied upon them making him available in order to have him testify.
I mean, I can ask if he's available. I never requested that he be here, so I just don't know if he's available.
Oh, well, I mean, I think they'll need him for Friday.
That's correct.
So tomorrow,
Yes.
okay, so
So here's the question. If he cannot be here Friday for some reason, if he's on vacation or something of that nature, would everybody be okay with him testifying by Zoom if he can't be here?
The only thing, Your Honor, is if there is some possible audio, video evidence we'd like to review, so that would possibly be a concern because of that.
Oh, we'll have him. I mean, I think you all can
Zoom.
We can try to
coordinate.
figure that out. I just want to make sure that that is something that gets coordinated. I'll talk to my client about any concerns he has about having put the witness on, but in that matter.
All right,
But
and if-
once we get to that issue, we'll figure that out at that point.
And if
So
we're needed, if he's needed by Zoom and there's stuff that he can review, I can always have you all do that in a breakout room or something else.
And judge on that particular witness, the state would want to, before, outside the presence of the jury, address these things just on that particular witness. If he is called.
Okay.
If he won't report.
All right, sure. And what I'll do is I'll just have the jurors let them know that tomorrow, even though it's all day, we'll start at 9:30. All right, we're ready. Oh, and State, do you want to have your witness come?
Oh.
Okay. Thanks, Mom. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, when Mom calls, you have to answer. All right, everyone, please be seated. I hope you all were able to find parking. All right, State, call your next witness.
State calls Rosa Saucedo.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you can make sure that you keep your voice up so the jurors and the court reporter can hear.
Okay.
All right, State.
Rosa, we met today earlier, didn't we?
Yes,
And just to reintroduce myself, my name is Daniel. I'm one of the prosecutors for the state. If at any time, if you can't understand one of my questions, please let me know. Okay, ma'am?
All right, and State, if you can make sure that you speak up,
Sorry, I thought the microphone was working.
that's okay.
But at any time, if you can't understand my questions.
She cannot hear you.
yeah. Can you speak a little bit loud because I can't hear you real
Sure.
good.
Just gonna test this real
I need
quick.
to hear.
Ms. Saucedo, if at any time, if you do not understand my questions, please let me know, okay?
Okay,
Ma'am, where do you currently reside? Where do you live?
Can you tell me again?
Where do you live?
7918 Ferry Farm,
And who do you live there with?
my granddaughter and my son,
And what's your son's name?
Roger Saucedo.
And on the night of June 28th, 2018, were you home?
Can you say again, please?
On the night of June 28th, 2018, were you home?
Yes, sir.
Who were you home with?
Can you say again?
Who were you at the home with on that date?
My son and my grandbaby.
And on that night, did you have to talk to the police?
Can you tell me? I can
Oh,
hear.
just one second. We're going to take care of this. State?
Sorry, I'm trying to speak up.
No. I need you all to keep your voice at this level.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
sorry about that, Judge.
No problem.
On that night, did you speak with the police?
Yes, sir.
And you spoke with a detective named Remmers, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he spoke with you in your home.
Yes, sir.
And you told the truth to Detective Remmers.
Can I object to leading?
That will be overruled.
You told the truth to Detective Remmers, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this statement, it took place not that long after everything that happened that night.
I don't understand the question.
He spoke with you not that long after everything that happened.
I didn't talk to nobody when the incident happened.
Can you repeat that, ma'am?
I didn't talk to nobody. There's a time that happened is the time I talked to the police officer. It is the time I talked to them. I never talked to no one.
But the time between when you spoke to Detective Remmers from the time that you spoke to him from the time that happened, it wasn't that long.
Yes, it is long,
How long was it, ma'am?
but 5 years.
What I'm saying is on that night, when you spoke to Detective Remmers, you spoke to him pretty soon after everything that happened that night.
Yes, sir.
And it was fresh in your memory.
It's,
Back then, when you gave that statement,
oh, well, I know. So just, I'm a little nervous.
no, and I understand that, ma'am. We're going to try and make this as smooth as possible, okay? So when you spoke with the detective, you told him you were at the home with your son and your granddaughter.
Yes,
You also told him that night you heard your dogs barking outside,
yes, sir.
and you and your son went outside.
Yes, sir.
And when you went outside, you saw a truck parked in the alley behind your house.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm gonna object to counsel's leading the witness at this point, testifying and not asking any questions for the witness to answer.
All right. That objection will be sustained.
When you went outside, what did you see?
The main part, close to my fence, throwing trash. And then I go on top of the fence and say, oh, please don't do that. And my son said the same thing.
So you and your son were out there together at the fence.
Yes,
And did your son speak with that man?
we both,
What did your son tell that man?
the same thing I said. And then the man is so angry when I say, please don't do that. We worked in the yard all day. And then he went through the trash. So he get mad because I go on top of the fence and say, don't do that. And then he say, don't be respecting me like that. I didn't say anything bad, just I say that not to do that.
And your son, did he ever leave the fence and go back into your home?
Again, Your Honor, I ask that counsel refrain from testifying.
All right. That objection will be overruled. You can answer that question. Counsel, would you repeat the question for her, please?
Did your son ever go back into your home?
And well, no, we stayed there. And then he told me get off the fence.
So,
Because the man threw rocks on it. And then I get off on the fence. So, and we walking together.
so it's your testimony that your son never went back inside the home.
He go back inside the house. When I think when I get off on the fence, I walk with him, but he go faster than I. And then he come back, but I didn't see he go inside the house because it's not too far from the door.
Okay.
So when I turn around, I didn't see, and then I turn around, he was there. And
Did you ever tell the detective that the man that was in the alley that he threw rocks at you? Did you ever tell the detective that?
yes, when the police get there,
So you're
the first time when he go inside the house, because there's so much police is inside the yard and the alley and the front of the house is a lot of police. So I get scared.
But did you tell Detective Remmers that about the man throwing the rocks at you?
Yeah, pero he I say that when they get there in the house, he'd say, I'm gonna stay with you inside the house. So he's telling me, like, oh, I'm so nervous, I'm so scared. I almost get killed in my own yard.
So, ma'am, I'm going to get to that. So when your son went inside the home, you stayed outside.
Yes,
And you told the detective that the man went into his car and tried to start his truck.
mhm,
And
Yes,
and at first the truck would not start.
no. He keep trying, and then the truck start.
And you told the detective that night that the man started to drive away.
Yes, he drive from the place that he was parking, throwing the trash. He run the truck a little bit to the front when I'm walking toward my door. Because my son said, go inside, but I didn't reach to get there. Because the man drive the truck, park in the side. So it's open the door, stand up in the door and shoot inside. While I'm walking, he's shooting there.
You never told the detective that.
Yes, I did. But I told it.
So
And then
it's,
they go, when
ma'am,
you need to testify.
excuse me, ma'am, just,
Excuse me,
so
just 1 second. Miss Saucedo,
Yes,
the court reporter can only take down one person speaking at a time.
I'm sorry.
So you need to wait till a question is asked. Once the question is asked, then you can answer that.
Okay,
All
sorry.
right, that's okay.
So
You may
it,
continue.
so it's your testimony today that you told Detective Remmers in your statement exactly what you just said.
I say, first he told me, we're gonna talk what happened. And then I say, okay. And then I say, when we go outside to the yard to check. And then when the man is throwing the trash, I didn't say anything ugly to him to get mad at me.
But ma'am, I'm asking you specifically, you told Detective Remmers that the man stuck his body outside of the truck and shot at you over the gate.
Yes, he did.
You also told the detective that one, you never told the detective that. Is that correct? You never told the detective that. Is that correct?
I can understand the question.
You never told the detective that you saw the man stick his body outside of the truck and fire, did you?
Yes, yes, I did.
Have you had a chance to listen to that audio statement that you made?
Yes, but yes, but I forgot to say that the man is get out the truck and shoot us inside my yard.
But you never told the detective that.
But
did
that's
you?
what happened.
But you never told him that.
Well, I'm so nervous.
At this point.
I'm scared.
She's asked and answered the question.
All right, that objection will be overruled.
So in your statement, you told the detective that you did not see a gun in the man's possession. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what I say. Pero who's shooting? She is the only one in front of, in the yard is nobody out there, just the man driving the truck. What I see, the man stand up and do like this. I didn't see no gun. I see his hand shooting. I mean, and then you can hear the shoot. And it's in the sun. My son threw me in the floor behind the car and covers me, and then I didn't hear anything. When that happened, when the man shoot, and then when he's shooting, I'm in the floor, so I didn't see anything. My son get up, and when it's no shooting anymore, so he get up and then saw the truck is gonna run, and then my son shoot.
So you just,
Then the man run, we go fast in the truck. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. Just the truck run forward.
so you just told the jury that you saw the man stick his body outside of the truck and fire over your gate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
But then you also just said that you didn't see anything.
I didn't see, just when somebody is stand up in the truck and you can hear the shooting, I don't need to see the gun, just I guess Kevin high.
You said you heard shots hitting something. Is that correct? Did you-
Yes, that's why I say. When he shoot, my son throw me in the floor, and then we hide behind the car.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. How long is it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a brief break. I'm going to have you back here at 2:15. Remember, you're not to start deliberating. You're not allowed to do any investigation. Everything you need to know about this case is to come from inside the courtroom. All right, everyone, please rise. Oh, excuse me, Ms. Saucedo,
Yes, ma'am.
you to remain.
I'm sorry.
All right, do you have the video?
Yes.
Play for her? All right, Ms. Saucedo, they're going to show a video for you.
Yeah,
Oh, it's audio?
It's audio only, Judge.
Okay.
So
So if you can't hear what's being played, just let us know.
here, Hank, can you do me a favor?
And Dinah, we're not on the record. They're just letting her refresh her memory.
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah. You're gonna do it. Let me go to sources. Right. There you go. Nice.
My name is Captain Ramos, with the San Antonio Police Department, and I work on night major crimes unit. I've been is 2335. It is June the 28th. It's 11:22 p.m. at night. I'm at 7918 Fairground in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, I'll pause it for a moment.
Case number 1813-6139. And
All right, Ms. Saucedo, are you able to hear that?
And what it is, I think he'll just want, I think he would.
No, that's
I
just
think
fine.
so,
I want to
just-
know if they're
Yes.
playing an audio.
Mhm.
And so if you can't hear that, let us know.
Okay.
All right, so he started the audio. Were you able to hear it?
Just,
All right.
Mr. Rosa, Saucedo, that's your name?
yes, sir.
In your living room. Your date of birth is August 30th, 1953, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is 7918 Fairground. And your phone number is area code 210-975-6616. She has a Texas ID of 1499145 Can you tell me what happened tonight, Rosa?
What I saw, I go outside because the dog is barking.
Okay,
So I go outside and check what the dog was.
okay,
When I go and see, just I saw a truck, but I didn't see anything, so I come back and
you saw a truck,
the truck is parking, and then I go back and see. And then
what kind of truck was it? What did it look like?
a white truck,
Was it small, was it
a
big?
small white truck.
A small white truck, and where was the white truck at?
You know where the pecan tree is in the backyard?
Okay, you have a pecan tree in the backyard?
Yes, there's a pecan tree in the other side.
Okay.
So it's
On
truck.
the other side of the fence?
Yes, it's a trash can and he throwing trash.
Okay,
And then my son said, please, man, don't throw trash, don't do that.
did you see the person throwing trash?
Yes, I saw them.
What did they look like?
It looked like a black man, because a little dark, so I didn't see it
Okay.
good. But I see it was a black man.
Uh-huh,
And then he said, and then my son said, please, we barely clean we clean the alley.
okay,
And
so he's in the alleyway actually behind your house there.
behind the
And he's
fence.
dumping trash behind the fence. What's your son's name? The one that was talking to him?
My son is Roger,
Roger Saucedo?
yes, sir,
Okay, so your son Roger, he lives here with you?
yes,
Okay, so Roger tells the black guy that's dumping trash in the alleyway behind your house,
yes,
hey man, don't be doing that. We clean up the alleyway.
yes, and then he said, don't talk to me like that. He said, don't respect me.
The guy that's dumping the trash
Uh-huh.
said that?
That's what he said.
Okay,
And then he said, oh, man, this, y'all go and do that to your house. I don't think your mom's gonna like it.
okay, so your son replied, if I go to your house and dump trash, I don't think your mom's gonna like it.
Because if this is my house.
Yeah.
And then the man said, they start saying things.
What did he say?
He said bad words.
Like what?
I can say.
You can't say them? It's okay to say them, and to me, it helps with the case. I need to know what this guy was saying to you guys.
And so it's just I remember where you say bad words, so I wanna say it.
Okay, that's fine.
And then
Is he saying them towards you or is he saying them towards your son?
enjoy us because.
You and
my
your son.
Yeah, my son is right here, yeah, I'm in his side.
So your son is standing to your right and
Yes,
you're to your son's left and you are at the fence.
yes,
Okay.
and then the man is looking at me like that he wanna say something to me.
Mhm.
Because I'm looking at it, and then my son get off, and then they go, come on, let's go. And then I say, it's not right. It is throwing trash when we clean. And then the man just get off. Because my son telling me, get off, get over here.
So your son calls you back to the house.
And then say, go over there, and I say, they say, oh, well. I say, I'll go over there, so I come back over here, and the man they start banging. I don't know what he's banging because I'm always I'm not in the fence anymore.
Okay, but you're still in the backyard. You're not in the house, correct?
It's in the back. I stay in the back, looking what he's gonna.
Is he banging on something metal? Is he banging on the fence?
Banging in his truck. I don't know what he's banging to pulling it down.
Okay,
And then I say, I come back. but I stand up there and with a white forest,
Okay,
I stay there. And then my son say, come inside, my grandbaby's right here.
okay.
So I say, no,
Right at
I
the back
stay
door.
with, I stay with him because I say, I don't know if the man is gonna
Oh, we're good. Okay.
throw something, so I stay
You stay with your son?
with my son, and then my son came inside and go back with me. And then, I'm pretty sure he doesn't think he come and get that gun, I don't know.
So, but you said you're pretty sure your son came inside to get the gun?
I guess,
Okay,
because he came and then he go back. So we stand behind the car,
okay.
because the man is still there. And then when the
He's still dumping trash in the back alleyway, okay?
Yes, and then the man stayed there. And then started the truck, he don't want to start, I'm pretty sure, because I heard the noise of the car,
Okay, he's trying to start the truck, but it won't start,
you know.
okay?
And then I stayed there, and then when he started the truck, I started driving it, and then we slowed it down, and when he saw me where when I'm standing right there in the side of the car.
Okay,
So in the tank, isn't think it started, pa, 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 and then I say, oh my God. So I throw myself with my son in the floor,
okay.
and then my
Where
son,
was the gunshots coming from?
from him, he got a gun,
The man that was in the truck?
he got him a gun because.
So you're
he
saying you saw him driving away, he's further down the alleyway. Did you see him with the gun shooting?
He's,
Or did you just hear the gunshots coming from that area?
no, it was the truck, and the man in the truck, because the man, he's nobody out there, just him, stand up right there when we
Okay.
start driving the
So
car.
you didn't actually see him with the gun, but there was nobody else out there
My son
that
saw
could
him.
have been,
I didn't see him, my son,
but your son did,
yes,
okay?
and then that's why he say, throw your son on the floor, because I think he's gonna shoot us. They said,
Did
"No,
you
he's
hear
not."
bullets coming past you?
Yes, so that's why I throw myself on the floor,
Okay,
right here behind the car, and then we throw ourselves, my son and I, because we together there.
okay,
And then my son, when the man shoot it, it goes slow, and then my son shoot back. But I didn't, and then the man it go fast to the street.
okay.
So from there, I don't know, and then I
How many
said,
times did your son shoot in response, shoot back? Just a guess.
I don't know, because they shooting when the noise is so, when the man starts shooting, you must hear, pa, 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 pa.
How far away is he from you guys? Is he just right behind the fence right here when he starts to shoot at you?
Yes, behind the fence.
Okay.
You know the.
Did you
fence, yes, son?
hear any bullets hitting the car or hitting the fence or
You
anything?
must hear ting, 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 and say, oh my
So
God.
you heard ting, ting, ting?
Yes, because he's shooting this way. I don't know where he hit, but he don't hit us because we throw ourselves in the floor.
Okay,
And then my granddaughter runs to the bathroom.
okay, because she's scared.
She gets scared, go run to the bathroom.
Okay,
And then from there, I don't know anything, just, I say, oh my God, and then I call my dad, I say, oh my God, I'm scared. There's somebody shooting in the back. Let's go with my dad for the police.
okay. Okay, wonderful. You've been very helpful, Rosa. I really appreciate your help. So this is going to conclude Rosa's statement. It is 11:30.
All right. Is there anything else? All right. So I told the jury at 2:15. So if anybody wants to take their break, they should do it now. All right. Do you need a break? Do you need a break? Ms. Saucedo, do you need a break?
You want to step down for a minute?
Okay,
You can. For a
If
minute,
you want
step
to.
down.
all right.
Okay. Sometimes. Right now, you will.
Yes, let's bring them in.
All right, for the jury.
Really feels like a. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, stay.
Ms. Saucedo, you had a chance to listen to the statement you gave to Detective Bremmers, correct?
Yes, sir.
You would agree with me that you never mentioned that the man in the alleyway threw rocks at you and your son.
Yeah, I didn't mention it because I forgot about it.
You would also agree with me that you never mentioned to the detective that you saw the man stick his body outside of the truck and shoot into your yard.
Well, maybe I forgot that, but that's what happened.
You would also agree that you never stated to the detective that you saw him shooting over the fence.
It's another thing. I forgot. I'm nervous. I'm scared.
And you would agree that at the time, it was very soon after all of this happened, probably about an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours after, right?
Well, I don't remember that time.
It was very soon after. It was the same night.
Yeah, it wasn't the same night.
And those details that you just mentioned, those are incredibly important details.
Objection or cause for speculation.
That'll be overruled.
You would agree with me, right? That those are important details.
Yeah, like I say, it is every detail is important, not just for you and for us.
Exactly. You would want to have told the detective that because that's a man shooting into your yard at you and your son.
Yes, but like I say, I get nervous. I'm scared. I'm scared to die in my backyard. And my little one inside the house. Is that thank God that not happen. But if they shoot us, me and my son, who's gonna taking care of my granddaughter is by herself inside the house?
And I understand that, ma'am. But the fact of the matter is that you never told these incredibly important details then.
Yeah, like I say, I forgot. Maybe I forgot.
But you
It's
would,
very important for me. Yes.
but you would agree that your memory would have been a lot better on that night 5 years ago than it would be today on the stand.
I wanna forget about it. And when that happened, I wanna take it away from my mind, thinking, oh my God, what happened? Oh, I don't know. I'm scared still.
So on that night, did you report this to the police before they came to your home?
I can't remember that.
You can't remember if you called the police about someone shooting at you and your son.
When I tried to call, and then my daughter called me. That's what happened. And then I get, oh my God, somebody shooting us. And then my daughter called the police because my daughter lives is my next neighbor. So she called the police, and then I say, call the police, tell them to come fast because I'm scared. I don't know if the man is come back and kill us. Because I don't know if he's gonna come back for the alley or from the front of the house. So my daughter told me, the police said, when she called the police, my daughter said, the police say, stay inside the house, don't go outside. So I stay outside, inside, I didn't go outside. After the time the police came home,
But you saw all the officers respond to the
Yes,
alley.
because they take me outside.
No, what I'm talking about is before the police went to your home to speak with you, you saw them out in the street and in the alleyway,
Yes,
and you did not
in
go,
my backyard.
and you did not go to talk to them when they got there.
The police come to me and say, come inside. Because I go outside to see, because my son go and open the gate.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Saucedo,
Yes, sir.
when you first made contact with that individual behind your house, what was the encounter like? How were things between you and that individual, between your son and that individual? How did things start out?
I go on top of the fence because I can't reach to see outside. And then when I saw the man throwing the trash, I say, oh, please don't do that. And then my son come to my side too, and then he say, we work very hard all day cleaning my yard and the alley because we're supposed to clean the alley. Like, hey, you come and throw the trash.
And how was that man acting?
The man is like very angry because just as when I say that he answer bad words, walk away and say a lot of stuff, and then I don't say anything. And then my son is the one to said, I don't think you're gonna like it. Okay, I'm going to your mom's house and throw the trash. I don't think you're gonna like it. And then the man get mad and say, you didn't, he said, we respecting him because we say not to throw the trash.
You, based upon what you saw, what you remember, did you think he was mad that he got caught back there?
Objection calls for.
I'm pretty
speculation.
sure it is.
Excuse me, Ms. Saucedo.
Yes, sir.
When either the attorney stands up, that means they are making an objection or they want to address something with me. So whenever you see an attorney stand up, don't answer. I will make a ruling. And if you don't understand from my ruling whether or not you can answer or not, just ask me. Okay? All right, the objection is sustained. You're not allowed to answer that question. Defense?
When you saw him, did he appear to be angry back there?
He was angry.
Did it scare you how angry he was?
Yes, because he was very aggressive.
You were worried he was going to do something to you and your son.
Yes, sir.
He was yelling at you.
Yes, sir.
He was cursing at you.
Yes, sir.
He was not leaving.
No, he kept throwing the trash. He don't care. We looking at it. Como I'm on top of the fence. He can see me better because I'm
You're short.
looking at it. So I go on top of the fence for me to can see everything. And then when I see the man say be very aggressive and say bad words and be throwing things, this is the time when my son say get off, because when the men throw trash to us, rocks, and then they go get off on the fence. So I get off on the fence. When I get off, I can't see anything because the fence is high.
Is English your first language?
No, sir.
What is your first language?
Spanish.
Did you teach yourself English?
Yes, sir.
You sometimes get confused in your answers in English and Spanish.
Yes, sometimes.
When does that happen?
Oh, when I answer in Spanish, because in that time I can't remember the English to say it in English, so I say in Spanish.
Now, you try as much as you can to speak English as much as you can.
Yes, right.
Okay. And you try not to speak Spanish unless somebody speaks Spanish to you.
Yes.
Okay. Did anybody ever speak Spanish to you that night?
No.
So they just started talking to you in English.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
That's okay. I just want to make sure the court reporter gets your answer. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you're telling us that he's mad. He's angry. He's throwing trash. You've already told him, and your son has told him.
Objection to testimony.
That would be sustained.
No, this is cross-examination.
No, it is, but there's still a difference between leading and testifying.
I'll
So,
clarify the question. Your Honor.
sure.
At this point, you've seen him dumping trash, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have told him to stop.
Yes, sir.
Your son has told him to stop.
He said, man, please don't do that.
So he's told him to stop, right?
Mhm. Yes, sir.
Have they told him more than once? Have you told him or your son told him more than once?
Yes.
Had he stopped at this point?
No.
A couple minutes have already gone by without him stopping, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's clear he's not leaving.
No. He live as in the tank. He finished off what he's throwing.
So he's still throwing what he's throwing.
Yes.
You said your son told you to get down.
Yes, sir.
Y'all move back in the backyard.
Yeah, I get up out of my fence and I'm not close to the fence, but I'm outside.
How you move back a little bit or far away from the fence?
In that moment, a little bit.
You said your son, when you were asked some questions by the state, went and got something from the house or somewhere behind you.
Yes.
At some point, did that man start shooting at you?
And that time he didn't shoot me. He shoot when he finished throwing the trash. Isn't that my son came and say, you better leave. And then he say bad words again and say, anyway, you not do nothing to me. And then they go, oh, my son say, I have a gun. So they go, I got something for you too. So he shoot. And then my son shoot inside the yard to scare the man. And then the man is in the tank. My son say, go inside the house because the man is gonna shoot us. So I don't know if the man he get something out of the truck and then close the door and trying to start it.
Let me slow you down right there. I want to make sure I understand you, okay? He got something from the truck?
Mhm.
You could tell he was getting something from the truck?
I hear because it's banging things. And then what is banging the truck. I don't know what is he's getting something else. I don't know. And then when my son shoot inside the yard, the man they go, oh, yeah, I got something for you. So when I walk away, and then the man drive the car like follow me. He drive the car, the truck, and then he opened the door and stand up, and just I see doing like this, and then I go pa pa pa. Then my son run and push me down behind the car where I'm walking because it's the door. My house door is in the side, so I run. I'm gonna walk that way. When my son say run, they go throw yourself on the floor because the man is gonna shoot us. I didn't talk. He's gonna shoot us, and then when my son threw me in the floor, isn't I heard pa pa pa, and then I get so scared, so I stayed down there on the floor, and then the man when I heard it go inside the truck, is like take off. And then my son shoot. And then that means it go fast. It
So
go fast.
he moved his car and was shooting a couple
Mhm.
times. And
He
he
moved?
shot, what, before you,
I'm
he
sorry.
shot before your son started shooting.
Yes,
And your son had to shoot back.
my son, yes, when we in the floor, and then my son get up, I stay in the floor because he told me stay in the floor. So he get up and top of me, and behind the car, he shoot back, but it's 4-way. And then it's in the tank, and the man go fast. He drive the truck and go fast. From there, I don't know what happened later at that.
So you said there was earlier, there was a lot of police at your house, right?
Yes, it was.
Did you talk to several of the police that night?
The police is they looking for those shells inside the shells that my son guns where we at. I go, it take me over there to show me. I say, we here, I show him where we stand. And when I'm on top of the fence, when I get off, I walk away.
And so you walked them through the whole situation.
Yes,
Okay.
because they told me to come and show him where my son is and myself. I say, I'm on top of the fence, I'm not in the floor. My son was in the floor. And then I show him.
Right. So you showed them all this stuff. You also you allowed them to look through your house and look through the yard for any evidence, right?
Yes,
And y'all showed them where the gun was at, right?
yes, sir.
You cooperated with the police and told them everything that you remembered happening.
Yes,
And this is your house, right?
yes, sir.
And it's also the place where your son, Roger Saucedo, lives.
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived at that location?
About 30 years.
And so you still live there from 2018 till now.
Yes, sir.
I'll pass witness, John.
State.
You never told Detective Remmer when he asked you what happened that your son fired warning shots, did you?
He don't ask me.
But when he asked you what happened to tell him the story, your side of things as to what occurred, you never told him that important detail.
Well, like I say, I get so frustrated, scared, and I don't know what to do. What I see so many police running everywhere. I say, well, I didn't do anything wrong.
So based off of your testimony today, your son was the first person to shoot a gun in this situation.
No, the man shoot it first, and then my son shoot it inside the yard.
So now it's that the man shot first,
Yes,
which is different from what you said that night where the man drove away and then he started firing.
he do it twice before when they bang in the truck getting something, he shoot. And yeah, I don't know where he shoot, but he shoot. And then my son, I say, I got my gun too. So my son shoot in the floor inside the yard. And then the man is still saying ugly things. He know that we in the back still, so he's still saying bad words.
You would agree with me that you love your son
I love my son.
and you would do anything for him,
Yes, sir.
including lie for him.
No, I'm not lying because that's what happened.
But that's not what you said that night.
Well, and like I say, I get so nervous. I don't know what I think.
And you had the chance to refresh your memory earlier this morning and you watched that audio statement.
I'm old person. I can remember things, yeah, I forgot things.
So now, and again, ma'am, I'm not trying to be rude here, but these details are incredibly important. You're saying that now, that back then, when it was fresh in your mind in 2018, you didn't tell these important details. Correct? It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
Yes, I know I'm a mistake, but like I say, and the thing, when that happened, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to think.
And now 5 years later, on the stand, you're adding more details that you never said back then. Correct?
Yes,
And again, you had an opportunity to listen to the statement that you made this morning.
I know, I heard it. I heard that, the recording, now I forgot things. I'm old.
Pass the witness, Judge.
Yes.
Ms. Saucedo, listening to that statement, did that refresh your memory to other things that had taken place that day? When you heard it?
Yes, I remember.
It helped you remember, right?
You remember, yes,
Help you
you know,
remember.
sometimes, I'm sorry,
It's okay.
sometimes I can hear things and then I forgot again.
So when you heard the statement that you heard, it helped you remember what you had said because it was there on the audio,
Yes,
but it also helped you remember things that you had forgotten.
yes, sir.
To make sure that the jury understands you were in fear for your life.
Yes,
Your son was I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, not just mine, because we both together.
That night, do you believe if your son hadn't done what he did, you would have been hurt or he would have been hurt?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Sustained.
No, that's your own personal recollection.
Sustained.
Were you concerned about what might happen to you if your son didn't act the way he did?
Yes,
There were officers coming in and out of your house for a while during that night.
yes,
Some of them talked to you, asked you a couple questions. Some of them came back later and asked you questions.
yes, sir.
Can you remember which officers you talked to about certain details and which officers you talked to about others?
No, I don't remember it, and so many.
Okay. And so if there were other officers that said they talked to you earlier in the night, you're not sure who it was?
No, I don't even remember the name. I say yes because I'm hearing the video, I mean, the recording, and the man say his name. I don't remember the name, now I don't remember the name of the man,
And
the
you
police
could've-
officer.
You also spoke to an officer Castillo, remember that?
I remember talking to so many, but I don't remember the names.
Did you tell, what were you feeling as you were talking to all these different officers about what took place that night?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
I'm scared because I don't know what happened, because I don't even know what happened. I asked especially when they take my son, I asked the police, where's my son, where's my son? He say, don't worry, it's outside. It is stay inside, I stay right here. They say, I will be with you. Every time I ask for my son, he never say they take him downtown, he didn't, I don't know anything.
And so at this point, you don't even know if he's being investigated for any kind of crime.
No, no, sir.
They're just asking you questions.
Just ask me questions. When I asked for my son, that's all what they told me. He's outside talking to the police.
And one thing is clear, you told the detective, you told whoever you could tell that man started shooting at y'all first.
I believe so.
I think further on.
State.
Just briefly, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes.
I had you watch your audio statement this morning, right?
Yes,
And after you watched it, I had you write your name on the, sign your name on the disc
Yes.
and date it.
yes, sir.
Is this that same disc?
Yes, sir.
And it's a true and accurate depiction of what you told Detective Remmers that night.
Everything what I say, like I say, whatever he asks me, I say it. But it's like I feel my body numbs, scared, I'm not focused.
But you would agree that there are details that you just said on the stand that you never mentioned here. Or that you're now mentioning, or that you never mentioned in that audio statement.
No, because I say just whatever he asked me.
Your Honor, the state would move to offer state's exhibit number 38 into evidence.
No objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 38 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish?
Granted.
My name is Detective Remmers. I'm with the San Antonio Police Department and I work on night major crime unit. My badge is 2335. It is June the 28th. It's 11:22 p.m. at night. I am at 7918 Fair Crown in San Antonio, Texas. Investigating aggravated assault of deadly weapon case number 1813-6139. And Mr. Saucedo, that's your name?
Yes, sir.
I'm in her living room. Your date of birth is August 30th, 1953, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is 7918 Fair Crown. And your phone number is area code 210-975-6616. She has a Texas ID of 14991-452. Can you tell me what happened tonight, Rosa?
Oh, what I saw. I go outside because the dog is barking.
Okay,
So I go outside and check what the dog wants.
okay,
When I go and see, just I saw a truck, but I didn't see anything, so I come back and
you saw a truck?
the truck is parking, and then I go back and see, and then the.
What kind of truck was it? What did it look like?
A white truck,
Was it small? Was it
a
big?
small white truck.
A small white truck. And where was the white truck at?
You know where the pecan tree is in the backyard?
Okay, you have a pecan tree in the backyard?
Yes, there's a pecan tree in the other side.
Okay.
So it's.
On the other side of the fence?
Yeah, it's a trash can and he throwing trash.
Okay,
And then my son said, please, man, don't throw trash, don't do that.
did you see the person throwing trash?
Yes, I saw them.
What did they look like?
It looked like a black man with a little dog, so I didn't see it really
Okay.
good. But I see it was a black man.
Uh-huh,
And then he said, and then my son said, please, he said, we barely clean we clean the alley.
okay.
And
So he's in the alleyway actually behind your house there.
behind the
And he's
fence.
dumping trash behind the fence. What's your son's name? The one that was talking to him?
My son is Roger Saucedo.
Roger Saucedo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your son Roger, he lives here with you?
Yes,
Okay, so Roger tells the black guy that's dumping trash in the alleyway behind your house,
yes, sir.
hey man, don't be doing that. We clean up the alleyway.
Yeah, and then he say, don't talk to me like that. They say, don't ever respect me.
The guy that's dumping the trash says that?
The what he said.
Okay,
And then he said, oh man, y'all go and do that into your house. I don't think your mom's gonna like it.
okay, so your son replied, if I go to your house and dump trash, I don't think your mom's gonna like it?
Because this is my house.
Yeah.
And then the man say, they start saying things.
What did he say?
He said bad words.
Like what?
I can say it.
You can't say them? It's okay to say them. And to me, it helps with the case. I need to know what this guy was saying to you guys.
And so it's just I heard what you say, bad words, so I don't want to say it.
Okay, that's fine.
And then
Is he saying them towards you or is he saying them towards your son?
and toward us because
You and
my
your son.
Yeah, my son is right here. Yeah, I'm in his side.
So your son is standing to your right and
Yes,
you're to your son's left and you are at the fence.
yes.
Okay.
And then the man is looking at me like he want to say something to me
Mhm.
because I'm looking at it. And then my son get off and then he go, come on, let's go. And then I say, it's not right. He's throwing trash when we clean. And then the man is just get off. Because my son telling me, get off, get over here.
So your son calls you back to the house.
And they say, go over there. And I say, they say, oh, well, I say, I'll go with you. So I come back over here. Then the man start banging. I don't know what he's banging because I'm always I'm not in the bed anymore.
Okay, but you're still in the backyard. You're not in the house, correct?
It's in the back. I stay in the back, looking what he's gonna.
Is he banging on something metal? Is he banging on the fence?
Banging in his truck. I don't know what he's banging to pulling it down.
Okay,
And then I say, I come back, but I stand up there and with a white horse,
okay.
I stay there. And then my son say, come inside, my grandbaby's right here.
Okay.
So I say, no,
Right at the back door.
I stay with him because I say, I don't know, see the man is gonna throw something, so I stay
You stay with your son?
with my son. And then my son came inside and go back with me. And then I'm pretty sure he isn't thinking he come and get that gun. I don't know.
So, but you said you're pretty sure your son came inside to get the gun?
I guess
Okay,
because he came and then he go back. So we stand behind the car
okay.
because the man is still there. And then when
He's
the man,
still dumping trash in the back alleyway, okay?
yes, and then the man stayed there. And then started the truck. We don't want to start. I'm pretty sure because I heard the noise of the car.
Okay, he's trying to start the truck, but it won't start,
You know.
okay?
And then I stay there, and then when he started the truck, he started driving it, and then it slowed it down. And when he saw me where when I'm standing right there in the side of the car.
Okay,
So and the tanker, isn't like he started, bah, 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 and then I say, oh my God. So I throw myself with my son in the floor,
okay.
and then my
Where
son,
was the gunshots coming from?
from him, he got a gun.
The man that was in the truck?
He got him a gun because.
So you're saying you saw him driving away, he's further down the alleyway. Did you see him with the gun shooting?
He's,
Or did you just hear the gunshots coming from that area?
no, it was the truck, and the man in the truck, because the man, is nobody up there, just him, stand up right there when you
Okay.
start driving the
So
car.
you didn't actually see him with the gun, but there was nobody else out
My
there
son
that
saw
could
him.
have been,
I didn't see him, my son.
but your son did.
Yes,
Okay.
and then this way he say, throw your son on the floor because I think he's gonna shoot us. They say,
Did
"No,
you
he's
hear
not."
bullets coming past you?
Yes, so that's why I throw myself on the floor,
Okay,
right here behind the car, and then we throw ourselves, my son and I, because we together there.
okay,
And then my son, when the man shoot it goes slow, and then my son shoot back. But I didn't, and then the man he go fast to the street.
okay.
So from there, I don't know, and then I.
How many times did your son shoot in response, shoot back? Just a guess.
I don't know, because they shooting when the noise is so, when the man starts shooting, you must say, oh, pa, 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 pa.
How far away is he from you guys? Is he just right behind the fence right here when he starts to shoot at you?
Yes, behind the fence.
Okay.
You know the.
Did you hear any bullets hitting the car or hitting the fence or anything?
Nomás se veía ting, 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 and say, oh my God.
So you heard ting, ting, ting?
Yes, because he's shooting this way. I don't know where he hit, but he don't hit us because we throw ourselves in the floor.
Okay,
And then my granddaughter runs to the bathroom.
okay, because she's scared.
She gets scared, go run to the bathroom.
Okay.
And then from there, I don't know anything, just, I say, oh my God, and then I call my daughter and say, oh my God, I'm scared. There's somebody shooting in the back. That's all what my daughter called the police.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. You've been very helpful, Rosa. I really appreciate your help. So this is going to conclude Rosa's statement. It is 11:30.
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Just a couple questions, Your Honor. Ms. Saucedo, you said your daughter called the police.
Yes, sir.
She told you she called the police.
She called me in the same time, when I go inside, okay, I'm gonna call the police, and then I answer the phone. And then I say to her, somebody shoot us in the backyard. He called the police, and then as in the time I say to her, call the police because I'm so nervous. They go, okay, don't worry, I call the police. Then he tell them to come fast because I don't know what happened.
What's your daughter's name?
Isabel,
And what's her last name?
Saucedo,
And you said she lives right next door?
yes, sir.
Like, which side?
As I live in the corner, says my neighbor, so you come there for this way as the second. You see, you come from the, for Fairchild is different ways.
Okay. And so you waited in the house.
Yes, she called me and then she called the police. And then she told me, stay inside on what side because the police coming. I say, okay. They say, open the door when the police come. So I didn't go outside, yes.
And so you and your son stayed at the house.
Yes, sir.
You never left anywhere.
No,
You waited for the police to get there.
yes, sir.
When the police got there, you knew what they were there for.
And then he opened my son opened the door. And then the police will go and get my son. And then
so-
they go, don't worry.
And that's when you started talking to the police.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he took my son.
And they took him downtown to be questioned,
I guess I didn't, the police never told me anything.
but he came back that night, right?
Yes,
And when he came back, they dropped him off at the house.
yes.
Sometime later on that morning. Or that night, do you remember how long?
No, I
Was it
don't know
nighttime or
when the
daytime?
night. It was in the same night when they bring him back.
Okay. So when he came back, it was still nighttime.
Yes,
And did the police take him in their own car down to the headquarters?
I don't know. I'm inside the house. So I didn't see.
Well, when he got dropped back off at the house, you know who dropped him off?
No,
And hadn't talked to anybody else at that point, right?
no,
They left your house.
yes.
Nothing further.
Any other questions?
No, Judge.
All right, the rule has been invoked. What that means is you can't discuss your testimony with anyone. The only persons you're allowed to speak to are attorneys for the state of the defense. You may step down. State, call your next witness.
Shall we call Detective Justin Remmers?
Judge, just when you approach this witness real quick.
Yes. All right, if you'll take a seat here, please. You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Justin Remmers,
All right, if you can spell your last name and be sure to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear.
REM.
Oh, you can have a seat,
Oh, okay.
or you can stand.
So REMMERS.
All right, state.
Thank you, Judge. Detective Remmers, can you tell the jury what your occupation is?
I'm a sergeant for the San Antonio Police Department,
And how long have you been with SAPD?
a little bit over 16 years.
Okay. And what are your current job duties?
My current job duties, I'm the supervisor for our fusion intelligence unit, for Southwest Texas Fusion Center.
Okay, can you sort of just briefly tell us what that is?
It is a regional intelligence center that's in charge of the 42 surrounding counties in the Southwest Texas region. We're in charge of real-time watch for the local area and also regional watch for threats of mass violence and terror. And it's an intelligence unit, basically.
Okay, good deal. Can you tell us what your job duties were on June 28th, 2018?
At that time, I was a investigator, has the rank of detective, and I worked for the Night Major Crimes Unit, which is Night CID, Night Criminal Investigations Division.
Okay,
And our job is to investigate felony offenses that occur at night.
okay. And what type of felony offenses do you typically deal with?
Pretty much all felonies, murders, sex assaults, robberies, human trafficking, anything that was a felony offense, felony criminal mischief, robberies. Anything that was, like I said, anything that was felony, we would handle that.
Were you working on June 28th, 2018?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you remember if you made a report that night?
Yes, sir.
Would it be helpful to help you refresh your memory to have your report in front of you?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes.
Did you have a chance to review that today?
Yes, sir.
And so did you go to University Hospital on June 28th, 2019?
Yes, sir.
2018, I'm sorry. And why did you go there?
I went there in response to a call that I responded to for a shooting, and they're the victim of that, or supposed victim in that case at the time, had been transported to University Hospital due to their injuries or getting treatment. And I went to the hospital to try to get a statement from that person.
Okay, and who were you trying to get a statement from?
I was trying to get a statement from Zachary Specs.
And were you able to speak with Zachary Specs that night?
I was, very briefly, though.
Okay. And why was it a brief conversation?
Because of his condition. He'd been shot in the head and he was in the trauma entrance to the emergency room. So medical personnel, doctors, nurses, they're all getting him prepped for emergency surgery. They were taking x-rays and scans and getting him prepared for that. So in the mix of that, I was able to go inside and speak to him briefly to try to get whatever I could before he got sent to surgery, because it looked critical at the time. Didn't know if he was going to survive.
Okay. And were they trying to give him oxygen, stuff like that?
Yes. So he had, like, of course, his head was all bandaged up and really couldn't see much of his face, but they had oxygen there and he was speaking through a mask. And so.
What can you describe the way he was speaking?
So he was out of it. Obviously, he had a head injury, pretty severe head injury. So he was very slow. It was difficult to hear actually what he was saying. I took a recorded statement, and you can even hear on that, like, it's hard. I had the recorder right up to him. He was basically like whispering and speaking in 1 or 2 word statements. He wasn't giving a detailed statement or speaking, nor was he able to.
Was he so did he seem slow, speaking slower than normal?
Yes, sir.
How did he look to you?
severely injured.
And did he appear to be medicated?
Possibly. I didn't know if he was acting the way that he was because of pain meds that they may have given him to get him to take away some of the pain, get him prepped for surgery, or if it was the injuries. I don't know. I don't know what they had given him at that time.
Okay, and where did you go after you left University Hospital?
After I collected the statement from Zachary, whatever I could, I actually went back to the scene of the incident.
And was that 7918 Faircrown Drive?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And did you have an opportunity to talk to Rosa Saucedo that night?
Yes, sir, I did.
And you were able to take her statement that evening?
Yes, sir. I believe I collected an audio statement.
And did you were you able to search the backyard when you were there?
Yes, sir. Myself and pretty much everybody at the scene, we were searching around looking for different evidence. We searched the backyard. We also searched the area that was behind the residence because there's kind of like an alleyway behind. We searched that area. Also searched the area that was around the truck where the truck was located because there was a pickup truck that the person had been shot, had been operating.
And did you see any bullet holes in the fence that night?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you search the other side of the fence and the alley side?
Yes, sir.
Do you have an opinion as to which direction the bullets traveled?
Jack, cause for speculation. He's not an expert at this time.
Your Honor, based on his training and experience as a law enforcement officer for SAPD for.
All right, if you want to lay the foundation.
Yes. Your Honor. So based on your training and experience as a law enforcement officer, do you have any opinion as to which direction the bullets might have traveled for the bullet holes in the fence?
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna object. I don't think the predicate's still been laid at this point.
All right, state.
Did you receive any specific training with firearms as part of your duties as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, sir.
And investigating in as part of your training, have you learned how to investigate crimes involving firearms?
Never taken any specific courses or classes that talked about bullets or penetrating bullets. However, during our firearms instructor firearms school, I've been through many advanced firearms instructor school, rifle certified, shotgun certified. At that time, I'd been, was this 2019? 2018, 2018. By that time, I'd been a rifle operator, shotgun operator, and special operations for 12 years. And so just my general experience of shooting and going through competitions and SWAT schools and training. I'm also a tactical medic, seeing gunshots and wound channels and things of that nature, just my general experience. I can tell you that it appeared that the bullets went from the back yard outward. And the reason why is because the wood was splintered outwards. And that's just my thoughts. Not like you said, I'm not an expert.
And did you find shell casings in the backyard that evening?
We did see some shell casings in the backyard.
And did you find any shell casings in the alley or in the area, the grassy area past the alley?
You're not like in the alleyway, correct?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. We were not able to locate any shells, spent shell casings or any bullets, live rounds.
And the jury was able to listen to the statement you took from Rosa Saucedo, and she was describing hearing bullets whiz past her. So did you look for any signs that bullets had struck her house or struck the backyard when you were there that night?
Yes, sir, we did. We searched different objects and things in the backyard. There was if I remember correctly, there was quite a bit of items that were in the backyard. We searched the back of the house, looked at the windows to see if there was any bullet strikes. Because at this point, you have to understand, we're not sure who's the suspect and who's the victim really at this time. And so we're trying to corroborate everything that we're being told.
And did you see any bullet strikes on Rosa Saucedo's house that evening?
No, sir.
Thank you. I pass the witness, Judge.
Defense?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Detective Remmers. I'm Leo Gonzalez. I represent Mr. Roger Saucedo. I don't understand any of my questions. Please let me know, okay?
Yes, sir.
So, when you first were assigned this case, where did you first head to?
The hospital, University Hospital.
And so, you were directed to go to the hospital?
No, night CID, we're proactive unit, so unless my supervisor ordered me to, we make the decision as the handling investigator as to what location we're going to go to first. I chose to go to the hospital first because based off of what was being described to us through the radio and on the call notes by the officers at the scene was that this person was seriously injured. And it was common habit and expectation as a detective, if you had a victim that had been shot or stabbed or had serious injury, there was a likelihood that they may die, that you would go to the hospital first and attempt to try to contact them in hopes of, if they do die, to get some type of dying declaration, get something from them. Because if you don't, you're going to lose that. And
So it's standard for you to go to the hospital.
in those instances, yes, sir.
Okay. And you know that when you're going to the hospital with somebody who you are made aware has a serious injury, they may be loaded up with some kind of pain medication, they may be suffering from the injuries,
Mhm.
but you still attempt to try to talk to them.
Yes, sir.
And you should still attempt to try to record them
Yes, sir.
to see if that any of that information is helpful for you in your investigation.
Yes, sir.
You said you did speak with Zachary.
Yes, sir.
He did when he initially spoke with you, he acknowledged you.
Yes, sir.
And he gave you some details. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And those details are what you use in your investigation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so when you go begin your investigation after you've talked to Zachary, and you described him as the possible victim, supposed victim at that time, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it wasn't clear that he was necessarily the victim in this particular case, correct?
At that time, yes, sir.
And in fact, you spoke with some officers when you got there, correct?
I don't remember specifically, but if they were there, then yes, I did.
And so at this point, everybody's not sure who the victim is and who the defendant is, I guess.
I'm sorry, I don't
At
understand.
this point, nobody's sure, right?
No, sir.
Okay, and
That's
in
why
fact,
we do investigations.
some of you have already made up your mind as to one way or the other.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Objection to hearsay. I don't know if he knows what the other officers are thinking.
I haven't asked him anything about what anybody said at this time around.
All right, the objection will be overruled. You're not allowed to say what anyone else said. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Your Honor. So based upon what you're gathering as information at this point, nobody's sure who the alleged victim is in this case, right?
I am unsure as to who the victim is.
Other officers are too, because they're providing information for everybody in order to continue this investigation, right? To cooperate, like you said.
I don't know. I can't speak for other people.
Just one second.
Yes, ma'am.
When attorneys stand, that means that they have an objection. So when you see either attorney stand, stop speaking, and then I'll hear their objection and make a ruling. If you don't understand my ruling, just let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, yes.
Detective Rivers can only speak about what he knew at the time, not what his
So what is your objection?
objection speculation, Judge.
Any other objection?
Hearsay.
Sustained?
It's kind of a chaotic scene at that point. Would you agree?
No,
Okay, so you're pretty clear as to what's taking place at this point?
no,
So there's a lot of unanswered questions.
yes,
And you're gathering information from other officers, correct?
yes,
That information is to lead you on your way, guide you for your investigation, correct?
yes.
And so you're talking to Zachary. Do you know how many people you're looking at as a suspect?
No,
You don't know how many people.
I do not know.
You don't know how many people are supposedly involved at this point when you speak to Zachary.
No,
he never gives you an indication of how many people you need to be looking at.
He does.
How many?
Objection, hearsay, Judge.
Sustained.
Well, as part of the investigation, what are you looking at as far as for an individual or individuals that are involved? What are you looking at that point? One person, two people, three people?
I'm not understanding the question.
Well, is there one suspect or more than one suspect?
I don't know at that time. That's why I'm asking questions.
So when you ask these questions, did you get some information that led you to believe how many suspects you need to be looking out for?
After speaking with him, yes.
And how many?
One.
Just one.
Yes, sir.
There's never a discussion about 4 Mexicans?
He stated that there were 4 Mexicans there, but then he described that the one with the long hair was the one that had shot him.
So when you talked to him, he said there were 4 Mexicans who were involved in this incident, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why is it so hard for you to provide that information to us here today?
I don't understand what you're asking.
No, that's fine. Now moving on, you went back and talked to Ms. Saucedo, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long after you were at the hospital did you talk to Ms. Saucedo?
How long after?
Mm-hmm.
I do not know.
What, can you give me a range of time?
A good guess,
Yes.
maybe an hour, hour and a half, whatever the time it would take for me to drive from University Hospital, allowing for traffic. And
When you got to the University Hospital, how long were you there waiting before you spoke with Zachary?
I don't remember, but I don't remember it being long. I couldn't give you a specific time.
So was it 5 minutes?
I don't know.
All right, so then you wait to talk to him. Then you talk to him. What happens after you speak with him?
After I speak with him, then I returned to the scene, or went to the scene initially.
And so then you drove over to the scene. Did you speak with her first, or did you speak with anybody else?
I don't remember who I spoke to first.
So you may have spoken to somebody else first?
I most likely would have spoken to officers on scene first.
Okay. So, and they would have given you information to help determine what questions to ask Ms. Saucedo?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you ever learn that there was 2 guns found in the vehicle that Zachary was driving?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you ever learn that there was 2 vehicles found in the vehicle Zachary was driving?
2 vehicles?
Sorry, 2 guns, 2 firearms.
Yes,
When did you learn that?
during my time there at the scene.
Did you learn that there was a spent or fired round in each of those?
The only thing I remember was that one of them was a starter gun for like track races, like racing track, just like a blanket gun.
My
And-
question to you though is, did you learn that one had been fired in each of those?
Not in each of them, no.
Would it surprise you that the CSI at the scene indicated there was 2 that were 1 in each that had been fired?
It's very possible.
Okay, so if he testified to that, that wouldn't be, you wouldn't have a problem with that testimony, correct?
I have no idea what he said.
But if he did, that wouldn't surprise you, right?
I guess not. That's what he testified to.
Okay. Did you participate in the discussion or the questioning of Mr. Roger Saucedo?
I don't remember. No, sir.
So which is it? You don't remember or you don't, or you did?
I don't remember discussing or being involved in his interrogation.
You know who did?
I believe it was Sergeant Mondragon at the time, Detective Eloisa Mondragon.
And so once you had finished getting the statement from Ms. Saucedo, did you do anything else on this case?
Searched the backyard, searched the alley behind there, made with officers, made sure that the scene was being processed, and then I returned back to my office so that I could finalize my investigation.
Now, during this search, were there a lot of dark areas?
I remember it was dark.
There's a lot of tall grass.
The backyard was mowed pretty well, and the alleyway was pretty well kept. But yeah, there's tall grass.
There was the trash back there, obviously, have been dumped.
Yes, sir.
There were some weeds there.
In the area, yes, sir.
Okay. Y'all kind of went through a general area of where you thought they might be.
Yes, sir.
Was there any metal detectors used?
No, I didn't use any metal detectors. But I don't know if CSI did or did not.
I'll pass windshield.
State.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excuse me.
Excuse, Judge.
All right, the rule has been invoked. What that means is you can't discuss your testimony with anyone. The only persons you're allowed to speak to are attorneys for the state of the defense. State, call your next witness. You may step down.
Your Honor, the state calls Officer Jesse Mendez.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can have a seat. Make sure you keep your voice up so the court reporter and the jurors can hear. If you'll state your name for the record and spell your last name, please.
My name is Jesse Mendez, last name Mendez.
All right, state.
Officer Mendez, who do you currently work for?
Currently, sir, I'm employed by the San Antonio Police Department.
How long have you been with SAPD?
I've been with SAPD for 6.5 years.
And what are your current duties with SAPD?
I'm currently assigned to the South Patrol Safe Unit. It's a community-based policing unit. I've been there for 2.5 years.
And what area does that cover?
All of South Patrol, it's south of Highway 90 and west of Interstate 37. My specific area is the South Park Mall area around Military and 35.
And have you always been in that position since you've been in it with SAPD?
No, sir.
What other roles have you played with SAPD?
Prior to that, I was on South Patrol Daylight, and then prior to that, I was on South Patrol B shift.
Now, were you working on June 28th of 2018?
Yes, I was.
And were you called out for a call for shots fired?
Yes, I was, sir.
And when you were called out, do you remember where were you called out to?
I believe it's on Fairground, sir.
And what side of town is that on?
That is on the southwest side.
And when you arrived in the area, what did you see?
Upon arrival, I was the second on scene. We were advised by some civilians that there was a gentleman lying in the ditch who was hurt. There was also a vehicle in the ditch as well.
And did you ever approach the gentleman that was in the ditch?
Immediately, not right away, sir. I believe the first officer, Officer Castillo, went down there to assess the situation. I made contact with the citizens that were in the area and tried to get them back to secure the crime scene. And then after I got them back, I returned to my patrol vehicle to grab some equipment, and then I went down to assess the situation with Officer Castillo.
Now, on this night, were you wearing a body-worn camera?
Yes, I was, sir.
And are you trained in how to operate a body-worn camera?
Yes, I am, sir.
And may I approach, Judge?
Yes.
Officer Mendez, I'm showing you what's marked as safety exhibit number 39. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do, sir.
What is it?
That is my body cam footage.
And have you had a chance to watch this disc?
Yes, I have, sir.
Okay. And aside from redactions made for legal reasons, have there been any alterations or amendments to this video?
No alterations, sir.
And it truly and accurately depicts what happened that night.
Yes, it does, sir.
Your Honor, state what officer states exhibit number 39.
Any objection?
Just real quick, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, and so state's exhibit number 39 is admitted.
Permission to publish, Judge.
Granted.
Now, Officer Mendez, once you were able to grab your medical gear, did you go down to help assist with the man that was in the ditch?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay, and when you saw this man, what type of injuries did he have?
Right away, we couldn't figure it out because he was covered in blood, but once we took his clothes off and assessed the situation, he appeared to have a gunshot wound to the head.
And did EMS arrive at the scene?
Yes, they did.
Do you remember how long did it take for them to arrive?
Just a couple minutes. The fire station's right down the street from the location.
And after you made sure that EMS took away the victim, what did you do?
As soon as EMS arrived, they took, I guess, control of the situation with medical wise. I then just began to secure the crime scene with crime scene tape. So I went back to my patrol vehicle, secured the roll crime scene tape, and then started marking things off where we believed the crime scene was to keep mainly the spectators back.
Did you assist with the investigation of what happened in this case?
Yes, I did a little bit. Yes, sir.
And what did you do to assist with the investigation?
This was after I secured the crime scene, the initial crime scene. I just began to search for evidence, excuse me, or any clues that might help us figure out what happened.
And did you attempt to retrace what had happened, or to figure out what had happened by retracing the path of the truck?
Yes, I did, sir.
And where did you look?
So I noticed that in the back of the vehicle, there was some trash, some debris, and also some dirt. So I began to just kind of follow, I guess, where the trail was of the down grass where the vehicle came from. So I just traced it all the way down the back of the alley to
And
where we found I guess the debris thrown on the road.
And when you found this debris on the road, what did you look around at that area?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what did you see?
Besides the trash, I kind of looked around real quick and I figured out I couldn't properly search the area by myself. So I went back, made contact with some other officers and brought some more people to come help me search the crime scene.
If you can, just slow down whenever you're answering the question, sir.
Okay, sir.
So did a detective ever appear on the scene?
Yes,
Who appeared?
I believe it was Detective Mondragon and Detective Remmers.
And once they came on the scene, did you tell them what you had seen already?
Yes, I made contact with Detective Mondragon. I said, hey, I believe this area further down the alleyway is where the initial, I guess, incident occurred, because I found the matching dirt that was in the back of the vehicle and some matching debris.
And did you search any of the yards of the houses in that area?
Yes, I did, sir.
Who was there with you?
Myself, Officer Castillo, another officer, I think he's on the body cam, and then I believe it was Detective Mondragon as well.
And did you find anything when you looked into a backyard?
Yes, I did, sir.
What did you find?
So we started looking around the area. We didn't find any shell casings or anything. So we began to look in the property right next to where we had found the debris. With our flashlights, we kind of just peeked over, and then through the cracks of the privacy fence, we saw the glare of what believed to look like shell casings.
And when you did this, what did you all do once you found those shell casings?
As soon as I found the shell casings, I advised the detective of my findings. She approached the fence, saw the same thing, and then we went around in an attempt to make contact with the people living inside the location.
And I fast forwarded the video to 3:28:49. What are you doing here?
Right here, sir, we're looking through the fence, I guess we're trying to find more shell casings.
And did you search the entire area of that alleyway?
Yes, sir, as best as we could. We looked all up and down, like I said, trying to find any kind of evidence.
And once you found those shell casings, what did you all do?
I advised Detective Mondragon. She said, hey, let's get a couple other guys and let's try to go around and make contact with the homeowner because there's evidence in the backyard.
And did you make contact with the homeowner?
Yes, we did, sir.
And when you made contact with the homeowner, who was there at the home?
We knocked on the door. The person who answered it was the defendant. And then I believe the defendant's mother as well came out.
So I'm fast forwarding to 3:54:42. Is this video of you, or what are you doing in this video?
I believe we just came around the corner. We were just checking, make sure nobody's peeking out the windows, nobody's trying to shoot at us or hurt us as we approach.
And is this the home that you attempted to see if anyone was inside?
Yes, sir. Oh. It's like a front yard and there's a backyard behind this fence. And this is the thing, and then there's the doors right there, and there's another fence, and there's the backyard to the alley. Well, let me see. All right, go ahead.
Contract with our night investigators unit. Is there another backyard that goes to like behind this one?
It's the alley, my yard, and then the next neighbor yard.
So the alley with the roadway is not right behind this yard.
This is where they drive right here.
No, it's on the other side of the fence, this fence right here.
Go ahead, but I got all my.
And block them up.
Over there. We only have one big one. All the other ones are middle.
Okay.
I'll put it inside.
One that you're gonna let us look into the yard. We got something going on back here. So we wanted to search the area, make sure that we're. Not missing anything out here.
It's in my truck, I have one in my truck in my metal thing, in my seat.
I have consent right here.
Oh, she has one, okay.
Yeah. But I don't.
I just use the car right there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on.
Call cops all the time. People shoot my house all the time. I have people breaking in all the time. I already have reports and it all the time. I have people try to go through the windows. I had a man come out here. In front of kids, in front of my mom doing something. Taking out the genitals. I reported everything, no one does that. People shoot at my house constantly. I had my car shot out. Tonight, that's why I said, let me talk to you. Because I'm not gonna waste time. The individual came.
He came to your house or came back there?
Came back here, but he was right there by the gate.
On the outside?
Yes.
Okay.
I went over the gate. So what is he doing? He looked at me and told me, what's my fucking problem? Excuse me, but that's how he told me. I told him you
What
can't
was he
be
doing?
throwing out stuff. And I told him you can't be doing that because it's against the law or whatever. And they give me tickets. He started coming at me. You know, I told my mom.
Coming at you like it's gonna attack you or just
No,
running
because
off in the mouth or
No,
what?
he had stuff in the thing, and like once I told him the gate, you know, you need to go.
Were you standing on something looking over or you?
I was looking in my gate like that, telling him
Oh,
you
okay.
need to leave because you can't be throwing it right on my yard. Because everybody throws stuff and they give me tickets. I'm the one who has to clean it. I told him, you need to go, and he started getting all, you know, rowdy. And then I told him, Mom, go inside because he has something. My mom was on the gate still. He kept saying
Did you
whatever.
shoot him?
I shot him
Okay, you shot at him. What did you shoot him at?
with the gun.
Do you mind if this officer pats you down? You don't have a weapon?
So
Security?
I shot her, that's why I shot him back. No, he shot him. That's why I shot him. Where'd he go?
So y'all were beefing?
No, ma'am.
What kind of gun did you have?
When I saw him go like this, I started running and ducking. Because when I told him the second time over the gate, he pulled it out of my face.
What did it look like?
I'm sorry, man, but when someone goes like that, the reaction you get is duck, run.
Right.
It's not the first thing, ain't gonna be the last time someone shot at me. So I know that routine. Because I'm telling you, he reached like that, went like that, and he shot. He shot at my mom.
How many times did you shoot?
It just happened so fast, I'm not really sure.
And you were shooting back at the same time?
After he shot at me twice, 3 times at my mom, and I shot at him back. To be honest, I wasn't even, I was just wondering. I
Were you
started
shooting through the fence or you were looking over, shooting down at
No,
him?
ma'am.
Or?
When he shot at me, I'll show you exactly what this. It's okay. He was right there behind the seat because they was. Yeah. Just my niece. That's.
Where's what we need right now? We need to take on fire.
I'm just saying, you know, I'm not gonna lie about that.
We're not gonna let you there, but we do have somebody that got shot with it before it, okay?
I know,
We're just here for that.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just letting you know, I don't have registration for it or nothing. I'm just, you know,
Certain house, you can have the gun.
it's,
Sister is, but right now.
you can go into the kitchen. Oh, right on.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll wait for a moment. I'll wait for a moment.
Do that form, and then once we have her consent, then we can go in and do everything else.
No, I don't. I used it for the bloody guy. That was the first one to treat him.
I don't have no.
Oh, that's good. I get it. I figured it out.
He shot me. He shot at me clearly. I saw fire and everything. That's why I was ducking and running. He shot at me right there, right in front of me. You can look right now, right there. No, he shot right there, sir. He was shooting right through this way at me and my mom because we're on the game. We just start shooting.
So would it hit the gate then, huh?
How to hit him here? He started shooting.
Just.
They're right here, see?
Yeah, really. Don't touch them, man. Just leave them where they're at.
Because when he started shooting out, I told my mom, get down. I ran this way. We're like this. And I was just going like this. Right here like that, and we're ducking right here. He kept shooting, so I shot back, but I wasn't
You
looking.
don't know the guy at all?
No, ma'am, first time I ever seen him, but
Was there other people with you, or was it just me and mom?
my mom and my niece, that's why I was screaming at him to get inside. He's young, we're all. But no, when we come on.
We're not here. You know. Yeah, let's hear, that's the facts. We're gonna secure the gun and then we'll close it down.
Coming out of there, or you just want to leave it there?
Yes, sir. Like I said, I don't wanna get this any worse, or me get in trouble, I'm just gonna admit what I did. How it went. Like so much, I don't leave my house because there's nothing to trouble around this area. I can stay home and trouble still comes over.
So the last house was in the block.
I remember when the police would come over here, I used to tell them too, they wanna catch people or do anything, they're right down the street. I used to work out here till 2 o'clock in the morning on my cars, and police used to pass by, and they used to tell me all kinds of, I'd be like, work out there. Cause I make a living fixing cars. I tried.
Others?
Yes, sir. Saucedo, SAU. CEO, Roger. 11, 14, 82. I'm gonna put them in the bathroom so they can see, because they wanna look at the pistola.
One of these folks just gonna take you down.
No problem.
Take you to give us, you know,
Yes, ma'am, I'll take it.
instead of okay for us to come in, you're gonna tell us what's going on, but be very still,
Okay.
you're gonna be cooperative. So we're gonna collect what we have.
That's fine.
So one of these guys can give you a ride down there, and I was gonna talk to you guys, let us know everything. Okay?
Like I said, I'm here to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I'm not here to make your jobs any harder, and that's why I just told
We
you.
appreciate you cooperating with us. So these guys are gonna do their job here. We're gonna go ahead and get you down there as soon as we collect the gun. Mama will go in a separate car.
What about my, can I call my sister to pick up my niece?
Yes, that would be good. You got your phone with you?
Well, being that the mom is, so you can just get him,
Do the calling?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Come on, Roger.
I actually do my statement.
Huh?
I guess you might.
Well, I just see somebody's out here that's green. Okay. Well, let's go.
I need any nobody's number or anything. I don't know nobody's number by.
No, we'll bring you back. We'll bring you under, which, it's just standard procedure. We just gotta, we keep, even the other witnesses that didn't even, I don't know.
I never been in none, so I don't know that.
Yeah, no, it's just, whenever we have a situation, we just transport all our witnesses separate. And the dogs will get out. All the other by the lights.
So were you the officer that transported Roger Saucedo to SAPD headquarters?
No, it was not, sir.
What did you do once Roger was sent to SAPD headquarters?
I passed custody off to another officer that was there at the location. I asked him if he knew where the firearm was at. He gave me a description of where it was at in the kitchen. And then I located the firearm and just stood by with it until CSI arrived and processed the evidence.
And then did you do anything else while at the crime scene?
Yes, after CSI arrived, they processed the firearm, collected it. They said they didn't need anything else inside. So I went back outside to the backyard and just searched the area for any other evidence, any more shell casings or anything like that.
Did you also continue to search the alleyway, or had you already done that?
We had already done that.
Pass the witness.
Defense?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Officer Mendez, when you got to the location where Mr. Saucedo was at, and you finally made contact with him, he was cooperative, correct?
Yes, sir. He was cooperative.
He answered all the questions that y'all asked of him.
Yes, sir.
And prior to that, looking in that alleyway, it's hard to find a lot of small things in that dark area, correct?
Yes, sir. It's very dark back there.
Okay, and you would agree with me that there may have been things that were missed because of the darkness of the area and the type of area that it is.
It is possible.
In addition, when you get back to the house, it's even possible to for things to be missed in that yard.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. And in fact, it wasn't the most controlled crime scene at that point, correct?
Yeah, we were just trying to get everything taken care of. Dogs were still out. I mean,
And
it had been over an hour since the initial call had come out as well.
so in a controlled crime scene, you wouldn't have people and animals walking through the area, right?
It varies. Every crime scene is different, sir.
But I mean, I guess in a perfect one, you wouldn't have that, right?
Oh, yeah. No.
So that way you wouldn't have the chance of things getting kicked around, moved around, eaten, whatever, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this in your normal patrol area? Or was it your normal patrol area?
At that time, yes, sir.
So how often do you patrol that area?
Daily, sir.
What were your normal hours of patrol?
At that time, from 1:30 to 9:30.
And how long were you on that patrol?
At this moment, sir?
During this time, yes, sir.
Yeah, at this time, I've been on about a year and a half.
And how much longer after this incident were you on that patrol?
I believe about another year and a half until I transferred to day shift.
Do you ever train other officers?
No, sir, not, well, now I do, sir. I'm an alert instructor for active shooter, but I was never a field training officer or anything like that.
Do you ever take other officers out to locations with you?
Yes, I do, sir.
And what's the purpose of doing that?
For patrol or for my?
Yeah, for patrol.
Well, sometimes the FTO is not there, takes days off, so then I would fill in as just a fill in for a field training officer.
So you fill in for field training officers on some occasions,
Some occasions, yes, sir.
but you're not regularly a field training officer.
No, sir.
Okay, but you're like a substitute field training officer.
Yeah, it's the supervisor's discretion on who they ride with.
Okay. Now, that body cam we're watching was your body cam, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you were there as they're talking to Mr. Saucedo about what took place, or he's telling you what he remembers happening in some regard. Y'all not going into too much detail at that point, correct?
That's affirmative, sir.
What's the purpose of getting that information at that point?
I believe the detective was just conducting a preliminary investigation for further questioning, and then that's why he was taken to the secondary location of headquarters for a more, I guess, detailed debrief of the incident.
Now, once a detective takes somebody back to the headquarters to be questioned, what happens usually from what you're in your experience?
The officer will transport them. They'll get put into a questioning room. Of course, it's recorded, and then the detective will do their questioning. And then once they're done doing their investigation, we're either given two directives: return them to the scene or book them on whatever charges they're going to charge them with.
So there are times where a detective makes a decision to arrest somebody based upon the statement that they've given or whatever evidence they have at that point.
Yes,
And part of that is, well, they have it in front of them, they have probable cause, or they believe they have probable cause, correct?
that is correct.
And two, they're already at the headquarters. So make the arrest and then start the booking process, right?
Yes.
Okay. In this case, was Mr. Saucedo brought back to the location to your understanding?
I believe he was, yes, sir.
Now, did you ever go back to that location or that area sometime after this incident?
Yes, I did, sir.
I guess since it was your part of your patrol area, would you say you went there several times?
Yeah, I've been there several times. It's a very high crime area, so I've been involved in several other investigations, calls, of course, traffic stops, whatnot.
And so you heard Mr. Saucedo on the video talk about, yeah, he had to deal with people shooting at it, people driving by, doing crazy things. You would agree with him that that's typical for that type of area.
I'm not too sure on the call history of his call history specifically, sir, but it's, like I said, it's a very high crime area, so I wouldn't doubt that
Go ahead.
calls like that do come out.
Okay, so you would agree with me that what he's described is not uncommon for that area.
That is correct.
Okay. And so you would agree with me that somebody who lives there in that high crime area would be on alert for things that are happening.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever happen to make contact with Mr. Saucedo again after this incident?
Yes, sir. A couple months ago. I'm not too sure on the time frame.
Okay, but sometime this year.
Yes, sir.
And where did you make contact with him at?
So now I'm assigned to the SAFE unit. So what we are is we're a community-based policing unit. It's a unit that's going to bring more, I guess, community-based policing back to San Antonio. We have officers that are assigned to certain patrol districts, and that is the permanent officer assigned to that area. We address all community concerns, complaints. We attend any kind of community event, from Red Ribbon Week to McGruff appearances to HOA meetings.
And so,
Your Honor, may we approach really quickly?
Sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a break. And so we'll be back at 4:15. Remember the court's instructions. You're not to start deliberating internally or amongst yourselves. No investigation, everything that you need to know about this case is to come from inside the courtroom. Does everyone understand? All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. All right, everyone, please be seated.
Are we gonna discuss this now? I think.
Oh, just, no, we're not on the record at this moment. Just so you all can formulate your thoughts.
Yes, please.
All right, so if you all can be back here at 4:05, I know that's a quick turnaround for you all.
No.
All right, thank you.
See?
For having my back.
But you always gotta assume.
I never.
Okay, everyone, what is the issue?
So Judge, it's,
No, not yet. I want to see what the issue is.
so Judge, it's the state's understanding that defense is about to ask about a prior encounter that the state has asked Officer Mendez about, and we did tell defense it's an encounter that that the defendant alleges that Officer Mendez came to his home and they spoke. And that Officer Mendez said that these charges were not right and that he shouldn't have been charged for what he did, and that he would come and defend him at trial. I believe that's the gist of
Is
the
this where
statement.
this is going?
So we're trying into the conversation, Your Honor, that there was a conversation. I don't know if there's going to be a discussion of what was actually said in this discussion. I can tell you, I want to confirm that there was a conversation, and that based upon what my client tells me, that this conversation led us to believe that this officer had drawn an opinion about what took place that day.
All right, but his opinion about what took place that day, wouldn't that be entering the province of the jury?
No, it would be up to the discretion of the jury to determine if his opinion is worth any evidence or not for them.
And
It does not indicate that he's making a declaration that they should follow, but based upon his training and experience, this is what he believes. I mean, it's as an officer who's doing an investigation, that's part of what his job is.
And Judge, the state, I would respond that at that point, even asking any sort of question about what his opinion is and whatever that may
Wait,
be.
and when we say opinion, are you talking about opinion as to what he thinks this and the result of the investigation was, as far as whether this was self-defense or not self-defense, or whether this was defense of third persons?
It wasn't that formal, Judge. It was more like, hey, you helped us out that night, is basically what the discussion was.
How's that relevant?
I believe it's relevant to show that he was an officer who was involved in the investigation. At least he was justified in what he did that night.
All right, I'm not going to allow that testimony.
And Judge, the state would ask for a motion in limine for any similar matters where asking officers about their opinion about whether or not charges should have been filed, anything of that nature.
All right, I'm not going to allow that testimony.
Well, Your Honor, I mean, to make a decision whether or not gets into possible defenses, if these officers believe that charges shouldn't be filed because he had a clear justification, that's involving the province of the jury, whether or not they can consider an actual defense, a affirmative defense at this point.
All right, I'm not going to allow the testimony about his opinion on whether or not he believes that Mr. Saucedo was justified in his actions.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a proffer then.
Yes, you can. Yes, we're going to go on the record.
So the defense was making a proffer regarding a statement that Mr. Rogers.
Oh, you want to question the witness?
I just want to.
Sure. Okay.
Officer Mendez, you've indicated that you did speak with my client sometime earlier this year.
Yes, I did, sir.
Where did that conversation take place?
So I was patrolling the area, nothing specific. I didn't specifically go to his house, like specifically for that, or go to that area for that specific reason. We were just patrolling the area. We had a new safe officer who was assigned to that area. Prior to her assignment on safe, she was working on the complete opposite side of South Patrol. So I just kind of wanted to patrol the area with her and show her like just some of the little hot spots that we have, some issues that we have, some little neighborhoods that we have issues with.
So where did you run into my client?
So we were patrolling the alley where the house is at. We started, I guess, off the main road, which I believe is Old Sky Harbor, if I'm not mistaken. And we just kind of followed the alley around the whole neighborhood because we were addressing a complaint of illegal dumping.
So it was near the location where the offense took place.
Yes.
Okay. And so you made contact with him back there or through his fence?
So we were just patrolling the area and I was advising the officer like, hey, we have a lot of illegal dumping. There was trash there while we were there. And then I mentioned to her, I was like, yeah, I believe a couple of years ago there was a shooting here over trash being dumped. And then we saw Mr. Saucedo poke his head over the fence. And so then he was just like, hey, is everything okay? And I said, yeah, everything's good. We're just talking about the dumping. Is it still an issue? And he said, yes, it is. And so then I said, okay, yeah, well, I knew there was a shooting here a while back. And that's when he said, oh yeah, it was me. I was involved in the shooting. After that, I just asked him how he had been since the incident. He said, based off what he told me, I guess like in general, like he has PTSD symptoms from the
All right,
situation.
excuse me. So
Sure.
if you can remember, the court reporter has to take everything down that's being said.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
All right, when people are talking, and she's telling me people are talking at 300 words, is it a minute or a second? So you're asking her to take something down and you're speaking at 320 words per minute. So slow it down so she can take it down.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may continue.
Thank you. Aaron. So you were having this conversation, you were discussing the incident and that he would have been involved and that he was suffering from PTSD.
Yeah, based off some of the symptoms, he was telling me it sounded like he had PTSD. He said he had trouble sleeping.
All right, you're still going 300 words a minute.
Sorry.
All right, no problem.
So he described PTSD symptoms.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When he described the PTSD symptoms, did that conversation go back to what had taken place that night?
I just asked him if he was okay. He explained his situation, the symptoms. And then he asked me if he had purchased another firearm. Because we're standing in a situation where shooting took place just for my safety.
Right.
And he said, no, he did not because of the situation he was involved in. And then that was pretty much it. And I asked him if he had received word from the court or from anybody else about an update on his case. He said no. And I said, okay, well, I guess no news is good news. And I just told him, hey, if you have any more situations, make sure you call the police. If you have any more dumping, make sure you call our unit specifically because we've done in the past 2 covert operations for illegal dumping. And just told him if you needed our help to give us a call.
And so did you ever have a discussion about, hey, I didn't think that what you did was right or wrong or anything like that?
No, I did not, sir.
Did you tell him about that you learned about the defendant's criminal history after the fact?
No, I don't believe he had a record prior.
Mr. Zachary Specs, did you learn that he had a criminal history after the fact?
Yes, I did.
And did you tell him that you learned that he had a criminal history?
I believe I told him that yes, he had a criminal history.
And did you in fact tell him that he may have been an aggressor because of his past criminal history?
No, I did not, sir.
Okay. Did you in fact then arrest or participate in the arrest of Mr. Saucedo the next day?
Not the next day. So what had happened was when we were done with the patrol by, we continued on the rest of our day. The officer, I guess she knows how to search and look up past incidents that have been archived. She was able to find his information and she ran his information and she said, hey, look, he has an active warrant for his arrest. So being that we had made contact with somebody who had a felony warrant, I had to address it with my supervisor because of course our policy states if you come across somebody, you're supposed to make that arrest. So then I was just advised to contact our repeat offenders unit. I contacted them. They said they'll get to it when they get to it. Then about a couple of weeks later, we were working on another operation with the repeat offenders unit and we were looking for another individual. We didn't end up finding that individual. So then I said, hey, I have an individual with an active warrant. I was able to run his information again, verify the warrant was still active. And then we went ahead and went to the location with the repeat offenders unit, picked them up on the warrant.
And in that conversation, were you made aware that he had still been living at that location during this entire time?
I'm sorry?
He had still been living at this location for the entire time?
Yes, I believe he had.
Okay.
I would, like I said, we just go, usually when we have a warrant or when I execute warrants, I just go to the registered address. Sometimes it's there, sometimes they're not. But being that I had just made contact with him a couple of weeks prior, a couple of days prior, I think it was closer to like 2 to 3 weeks, figured he would probably be there.
And just to be clear, you told him that day that no news is good news.
That's what I said, yes, sir. But of course, since the shooting, we had COVID, lockdown, stuff like that. So I know the court was backed up and so on and so forth, but I believe the warrant had been active for a while.
But you didn't know how long it had been active, and then you didn't know it was active at that time?
No, I did not.
Okay. Nothing further.
All right, I don't see how this is relevant.
Well, Your Honor, I mean, he's providing him with the information that, hey, look, you're probably fine based upon what I've experienced and the fact that you haven't heard anything at this point.
All right, I'm not going to allow that testimony that he's probably fine. So that testimony is not going to be allowed. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, can we bring the jurors in?
Yes, sir.
All right. Right, and just remember to slow down because she has to take everything down.
Yes, Your Honor.
No problem. But if you really think about it, how she's typing and putting everything in, and the fact that everybody is making her do 320 words a minute,
Yes, Your Honor.
myself in my heyday with typewriting with no errors, I was only at 150. There was no way that I could do
Yes, Your Honor.
320.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I was expecting smoke to come out of the keyboard. I apologize, ma'am.
And my understanding, she's clocking everybody about 320.
You can't
It's not- it's not
do
true.
320
It's not
because
me.
it's tough.
No, it's not you, but
Sorry.
everybody.
I don't even
I'll
think
try
that-
to question.
Well.
I'd like to
okay, I'm
check
just
this
gonna-
speedometer.
I'm so down.
I'll start elbowing it.
Was that ray gun like tested before?
Yeah.
Bring my radar gun for words per minute.
Okay, let me just say, it's not Hank and it's not Jessica,
Thank you.
but there are three other
I'm
people.
just saying, she's looking at my screen and it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's added pressure. I would just like. a
I
little
see your eyes.
I like a little consideration, just like when y'all say, we have an interpreter. I am literally interpreting in the
Right.
shorthand, so please be considerate of me. That's all I am asking, because I'm up to here.
I'll
Okay?
start elbowing. I'll start elbowing.
Thank you.
I'll try.
Yes, we're
All right,
ready.
jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, defense?
Yes, can I continue, Your Honor?
Yes.
Now, Officer Mendez, you said you did make contact with my client, correct?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you made contact with him, and at that point, did you learn that he had been at that residence during the period from the date of the incident to that point that you had contact with him?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
With that out, that one I will overrule.
You can answer.
You can answer if you made contact with him.
Yes, I made contact with him at the same residence.
Okay, and so between 2018 to 2023, he had in fact been at that same location, that same residence, correct?
I would assume so. He was there that same day.
Okay, now. Were you the officer that drove him home that night?
Negative, sir.
Do you recall who what officer was that drove him home that night?
No, I don't, sir.
Did you tell him, or did you have any conversations with Mr. Saucedo about, because of the type of activity that goes on there, he could call the police later on if he needed any help?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
To all the citizens.
Did he ever indicate to you if he still had a weapon at that point?
I asked him that question. He saw a weapon. And he said no. He did not purchase another firearm after the incident.
Okay. So I'm just making sure I understand. He indicated that he had not purchased another firearm after the incident.
That's affirmative, sir.
Did you gather in talking to him that he had had any effects from that incident?
I'm going to object to relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Well, what it appear his mindset was when you were talking to him about the incident.
I'm going to object to speculation. His mindset.
It's what he
All right.
appeared.
Any other objection?
I'd say relevance and also the
Sustained.
Did you make a determination that he was suffering from PTSD from that incident?
objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Have you ever dealt with people who have PTSD?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Sustained.
Did it appear that Mr. Saucedo had been shaken up by this incident?
I'm gonna again,
Sustained.
Now, this is relevant information to how our client is dealing with this from the last 5 years. And it goes to his defense as well.
Sustained.
How long of a conversation did you have with Mr. Saucedo?
It's just a minute or two, sir. It wasn't long at all.
Just a minute or two? But you did discuss the incident.
I'm gonna object to hearsay.
That'll be overruled. You can answer yes or no on whether or not you discussed the incident.
Not specific, sir, but in general, I just asked him his well-being,
You did ask his well-being.
just how he was doing, yes, sir.
Were you concerned about his well-being?
Well, it wasn't concerned, just more curiosity, see, because it's a traumatic event, it affects people differently.
And so because of that traumatic event and asking about his well-being, did you feel like were you then concerned about his well-being to some degree?
Not really, sir.
Now, you said you had another officer with you at that time?
Yes.
Who was the other officer?
Her name's Tiffany Puente.
Did Ms. Puente participate in the conversation?
No, she did not.
Did you inform Mr. Saucedo that you had been involved in the investigation of that prior incident?
Besides what happened that night, no, I was not involved in any way, shape, or form.
No. Did you inform him when you had the conversation that, yes, I was part of that investigation?
Oh, I told him, yes, sir, that I was at the incident that day.
Okay. I'll pass it, Michelle.
Any further questions?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused?
Yes, sure.
Excused.
All right, the rule has been invoked. That means you cannot discuss your testimony with anyone. The only persons you're allowed to speak to are attorneys for the state of the defense.
Yes, sir.
All right, you may step down.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. State, call your next witness.
State calls Detective Mondragon to the stand.
And can I have parties approach for a moment? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm being told by both parties that the next witness will probably push us to maybe 5:20. So if everyone is okay to stay till that time period for this witness, we can. Or if you would like, we can come back tomorrow because we're going to be here tomorrow anyway, because there are some more witnesses that need to be called. So do y'all wish to discuss that? All right.
I lied, I did not drive today.
Yes, you can. What we'll do is I will let you all, and this is what I'll do. I'll let you all in the jury room to discuss it amongst yourselves. And there's no objection to her texting her ride from either party.
No, Your
All
Honor.
right. And then people can text if they need to text someone. Okay. All right, everyone, please. Oh, just let's see. Everyone, please rise for the jurors. So state, after this witness, you're saying you have one more witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who is that witness?
The complainant.
Oh. Okay.
Your own rule.
Yes.
All right, so, and then defense. Not to put you on the spot, how many witnesses are you?
I would say one, maybe two.
All right, so I will tell you tomorrow, we're going to start at 9:30 because I have just two matters that are coming back in the morning. And we will stay until we finish. And I will let the jury know that we'll do closing perhaps on Monday.
Okay,
Is everybody okay with that?
that's fine, Judge.
All right.
Can we approach real quick?
Yes.
Just.
No problem. Yeah.
No.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with regards to this witness, the state is going to do their direct examination. And the defense's cross may be slightly longer than anticipated, so they're going to do their cross tomorrow morning. All right, state, call your next witness.
State calls Detective Mondragon to the stand.
All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record and spell it, please.
Eloisa Mondragon, that's Eloisa. Last name is Mondragon.
All right, state.
Detective, how are you currently employed?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, Detective, how are you currently employed?
With the San Antonio Police Department.
And what do you do for SAPD?
Currently,
Yes.
I work for the Internal Affairs Unit.
I want to take you back to June 28th of 2018. What were you doing on that date for SAPD?
I was a night investigator with the night CAD unit.
And what does that mean, a night investigator?
So the night investigative unit is comprised of detectives. And we work certain hours, mostly overnight, and our task is when we get called out by officers at the scene of felony status crimes, we proceed with an investigation from there, depending on the circumstances.
And on June 28th of 2018, were you called out to any scene in particular?
I was.
Where were you called out to?
I don't have like the address. Can I take a look at the report?
Would you need to look at your report to refresh your recollection?
I would.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
And if you can, just take a minute, refresh your recollection. Please just don't read off of it directly. Okay.
Okay. It would have been around the 1200 block of Manzanita. You don't want to be specific.
I mean, if you could just tell us the street.
Based on the report, the place of occurrence would have been Manzanita Street.
And are you sure it was Montanica Street?
Fair Crown Drive is also on the report.
Did you go out to the scene?
I did.
And when you got to the scene, were there any suspects developed as to what happened on that night?
Well, yes, we had a suspect in this investigation, yes.
Yeah. And who did you end up speaking to?
I spoke with Roger Saucedo.
And night CID, does that mean that you supervise the crime scenes? What exactly do you do when you go to these crime scenes?
Yes, we come out and we are given information about the crime or information about what's happened out there. And then we ask a lot of questions, victims, suspects, crime scene, and we typically just coordinate from there how we're going to proceed with the investigation. So the night investigator unit is like a preliminary step in a lot of cases, not all, but we come out, take a look at the crime scene and collect what we have. And then the case will be forwarded there to homicide, or in this particular case, I believe it went to homicide.
And you had the chance to speak with Roger Saucedo.
I did.
Did you speak with him at the scene?
I believe that I did. I would have to really take a look at the body worn camera to completely verify that, but based on the interview I would have spoken with him there.
So you did interview Roger Saucedo.
I did.
Where did this interview take place?
The controlled interview happened at the night CAD office. So he was transported from the scene to the night investigators unit office.
Was he under arrest whenever he was transported?
He was not.
He came voluntarily.
Right.
And so when he went to the night CID office, were you the one that spoke with him?
I did the interview.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Tell me what the mark states exhibit before you. Can you tell me what this is?
It's a CD with, I believe, the interview that's on it. Also, I want to point out that there's a second person in the room at the same time that I was in there doing the interview.
Who else was in there?
His face isn't shown. I've worked with this individual. I believe it's Zachary Oliva. I believe at the time he was also an investigator. I don't know what his status was at the unit at the time.
But you had a chance to view this video.
I did.
And is it a true and accurate depiction of the interview that happened that night?
Yes.
Has it been altered or amended in any way that you can tell?
No.
Your Honor, state what offer states exhibit number 40 into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
Right, states exhibit number 4 is admitted.
Permission to publish, Judge.
Granted.
I'm fast forwarding to the time in the top right corner. It's 07:02. What are we taking a look at, Detective?
I'm sorry.
What are we seeing here in this video?
This is one of the interview rooms. Roger Saucedo in the room, and I should be coming in shortly.
All right, trying to get to the beginning.
Before you're asking questions, it's going to be the police officer to advise you of your rights and to warn you of the consequences of waiving these rights. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to make any statements, oral or written, to anyone. Any statement you make will be used in evidence against you in the court of law or in trial. You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you before and during any questioning by police officers or attorneys representing the state. You may have your own lawyer present, or if you're unable to employ a lawyer, the court will appoint a lawyer for you free of charge now or any other time. If you decide to talk to anyone, you can, and you can stop talking to them anytime you want. You need to vote rights or continuing rights, which can be urged by you at any stage in the proceeding. Do you have any rights? You don't mind if you run over. It's the last name. You said it was Roger Saucedo.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, and they're 18.
Third crown.
Street drive,
Street.
and what business address?
What family?
Phone number?
I have it all.
When I wrote it,
Yes, ma'am.
what's your good word?
Two.
Married,
No.
nearest relative, other than your spouse, if you know. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Sure, Veronica.
To be honest, that's what I was saying there.
You have a cell phone?
That's why when I was saying there, call.
But you couldn't remember what the number was when I was out there.
That's why before I left, I was trying to write down numbers because I told her, I don't know what happened, but I can write down numbers because I need someone to contact.
Okay, so Roger. Tell me what happened.
I was inside with my mom and my niece. Or just like any other day. And constantly like your dog barking, so I just went outside because I have stuff open. That's all. Because my mom was following. She has a habit because she already knows how it is, so she follows me. Went outside, she right behind me. I saw a truck pass by. There were people yelling, so I thought they're yelling at us or something. I reached the gate. I said, "Go with you to see." So the individual.
In the white truck.
This one,
Was he black, white, Hispanic?
black. Walking down there.
He came out of the fence.
No, man, I stayed in my yard the whole time. I never left the house till you came to my house.
Okay.
Went towards the gate. He was like 5-10 feet close. Along the gate, I told him,
Was he inside the truck or was he outside the
he
truck?
was outside the truck. I was on the gate. I told him, you can't go there. He just started, he was looking at me on this. And I told him, I told him clearly, please, dude, don't throw stuff there. Take care of my house, man. I don't care about other people who don't care, but I do. Don't throw it there, dude. He came at me with this whole other. Whatever. I just don't stop it. He proceeded to, why are you disrespecting me and all this stuff. So it started escalating. I told my mom, get away from the gate, because she was right here.
She was looking over also.
Yeah, she knew what was going on. She's short, so she's over there trying to climb. She was
You
trying,
just step on that first little piece of wood and hold on and just look over.
yeah,
Okay.
she was trying to see what, so I kept telling her, get away. When I told him, you need to get fucking out of here. He started throwing all the stuff out, like he started throwing it. You can go see all that stuff.
And he was throwing into the ditch.
He started throwing it towards us.
Okay.
Because if you go back, you can see all the stuff there. Because you can see where he was throwing it. But once he started tying stuff, he started throwing those rocks and everything at us.
Black bags that were in the ditch, he was throwing those out of the truck too.
Like I said, I saw him at the truck. I don't know what he was doing, but I saw him at the truck.
Was he on the driver's side when you were talking to him, or was he on the?
He was in the back of it. And then when I started talking, he ran to, like, he had run, but when he saw me, he kind of like got on his post. And then he put up the back seat and got something.
Okay.
That's when I kept screaming at my mom, get over there.
So it's a little Ranger when you say the back seat. So the door was open, he got up to the door and he pushed the seat forward.
Yeah, when I jumped down, because I already know that motion. I already know when people go behind the seat or behind the trunk, I already know. He grabbed a bag. It looked like a green one.
Okay. From behind the seat?
Yeah, like his trunk was like that. He was in the back. That happened when I was talking to him. He walked up, then he went back to the door.
The truck had a one of those drawers in the back, like in the back tailgate. Was he reaching in that, or he was reaching into something in the back seat of the vehicle?
Back seat.
It's not, it doesn't have actually.
No, I know, it's he folded the seat up.
Okay, folded it and he was reaching.
He was talking to me like this. And this, like, if this was the back of the truck, he was back here, you know what he was doing.
Right.
Then he started doing all that.
Okay, so that's where all the dirt came.
Yeah, I mean, he was like that, and then he went like this real quick. The door was fine. He just moved the seat up.
Okay.
Grabbed, that's why I started screaming at my mom.
He grabbed a bag.
Yeah, he started grabbing the bag, he put the bag like that, and he was saying, he was clearly telling me, you're disrespecting me, who the fuck are you, you don't own the street, he's threatening me.
Okay. Where was the threat?
That's why I kept getting that. Getting hurt, because I saw that I already know how it gets there. I already know that. Okay. So I already just told her. I told her the other day.
You see it though.
He shot at it.
Okay, what did the gun look like?
He was shooting at us when I was already running.
He pointed it at you, so you had time to see him pointed at
You know,
you.
I was already running. I'm telling you, when I saw him going like this, when he went like this, I was already running.
That's not true. I just need to understand that you're saying he had a gun. I can see it, but he had a gun. How do you not see a gun but know that he had a gun?
I don't know if it happened too quick, but I'm telling you, he shot at us. I heard him. I saw it. That's the only reason why I did what I did. Because when he saw, he pointed it at us. Like you could see his action when he went like this. So I was already running toward the line.
I can do this to you all day with my fingers or with my
But
hands.
you don't have a threatening motion to hurt me. There's a difference when someone.
What I want to know from you is, did you see a gun?
Yes, he went like this.
Okay, so what did the gun look like? He pointed it at you. You told me out there that he pointed the gun at your face.
I don't know if it was a revolver. Like, if you want to know specifics, if it was a revolver.
Was it
Black man. I can tell you. It's like I can tell. Believe me, if I see a gun, I can tell you.
Where did he produce the gun from?
From the back seat. I mean, I'm telling you, he ran, messed with the stuff, and I'm telling you, when he turned around, he had it already.
Okay. So when you walked up to the fence, where did you have your gun?
I didn't have it by the fence. I didn't have a gun.
Okay, so when you were talking to him and looking over the fence, you didn't have a gun?
No, ma'am.
All right, so he's popping off rounds, you and your mom get off the fence.
No, when he started throwing all the rocks, so I went, like you saw where the bush was, my car right here. All the way over here, and he was going, I ran over here, behind the car. That's why if you go right there by the car, there'll be shells already.
Right where we were standing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I told you, I was right there. Trying, I was holding my own down, telling her to get down. And once he started shooting towards us and towards the house, I just unloaded.
Where did you have your gun that you were able to get to it and start shooting back that fast?
Right there. I always have it outside in the toolbox. I always have it in the back because I have people shoot my whole car before. I have people come and steal money from me before.
If I can ask you something, you said whenever he went like this, you said you saw the gun, you said you took off running, right? When you took off running, where did you run to?
Straight to my house, like towards the fence.
And then you said you heard the gunshots?
No, like when I was running, he like right there by the car, he already started shooting.
Okay, so now he pulled out the gun and started shooting.
Not now, that's the first way I said, like, when he started throwing that, and I told him, I'll get out of the way, he got the gun. When I went running that way, he shot. Right when I was at the tip of my car, like the back of it, he started shooting. That's why I grabbed my gun and shot back. My gun was like, where my door is, I know you saw my.
Did you run towards the fence and then keep shooting?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I have no problem
So the
standing
only
inside
time you
here.
shot the gun was when you were towards the back into your car and I decided you and mom were like, get down.
Like that.
Let me ask you how the shell casings were all along the fence line on your side of the fence. How come there was? Okay, so this is your front yard, right? Here's car. This is where all you guys were. You said your gun was over here, right? Here's the back fence. And here's the alley where the road is. This is road. He was here. All the dirt that he was dumping was here, and there was bags down here. You're saying that you only shot from here, right?
All right here.
Why are there casings all the way over here?
I was shooting right here. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when he shot at me, I shot at the dirt. If you look, the bullets be in the dirt.
Okay, so if you're shooting from here, my casings aren't gonna eject forward right over here where.
Right, if you go to my house, there's rose bushes right there, there's a big old hole, I know you saw it.
Yes.
Okay, if you look right there, you can see where my bullets hit the ground. 'Cause I didn't want to shoot him.
So then you did have the gun all the way over here when you went to the fence.
No, that's when I got it back when I came.
Well, I just asked you, I said, did you go back towards the fence and start shooting? You said no.
I know, like, if he was there going back, like, I'm gonna get him now. Like, there was a reaction when he showed the gun, got on, ran, got it, came back.
Okay, so you did go back.
Well, he already had the gun. You can even, like I said, you can ask me.
I'm not saying it's wrong that you went back.
I know, but I said I was ducking and trying to see, but I couldn't see through my gate. Once I started seeing him shoot, that's when I went like this, shot like that, and I started running.
It's not making any sense what you're saying, because now you're saying, okay, you said you were here, you saw him have a gun, you and mom ran all the way over here. Wait, let me explain to you what you just told me. We're here peeking over the fence, I yelled at my mom and said he has a gun, so we both jumped off, we ran over here, I got my gun from where the tool case was, right? We already heard him that he was shooting, so I started shooting from over here, that's where all these casings are, by my car. Yes, we see that. And then I asked you about the casings that are over here, and now you're saying, oh, okay, when I was over at the fence, I was running and shooting at the same time. But so you did have the gun when you went up to the fence,
I
right?
only got it real quick, man. Like, this is the first time this ever happened to me, so it's kind of like.
Well, it's obviously like the first time that you shot somebody point blank in the head, but it's 45 caliber too.
Like I
So
said, I wasn't. I know it's
it
bad.
doesn't make sense, and you're going back and forth in your story, and I already asked you, did you have the gun when you were up here looking over the fence? You said no. Did you have the gun when you were looking over the fence?
I wasn't like this over the fence.
Did you have the gun when
No,
you were
I
at the
wasn't.
fence line?
I wasn't
I'm
like
not
this.
asking you for pointing it at, I'm asking if you had the gun when you were at the fence line.
I wasn't at the gate, man. I didn't have no gate. I didn't have no gun at the gate. I was away from the gate. As far as the gate was, this was the gate.
Right. You said that we're looking over it.
Yes, but I was past the gate. I wasn't, like, this was the gate. I wasn't.
She asked you if you were standing on the fence to look over, and you said yes, so you were there.
When I went to go see him, but that was the first one wrong. That's what I'm saying. I was there, it looked like this when I was there.
Did you have a gun with you?
No, man, when my mom was there, I didn't have no gun.
Okay,
I did not have no gun. When I saw him, I did not have no gun.
okay. Let's go through this again. You're at the fence looking over, you see the guy, they'll start talking shit to each other, and then you said he had a gun. Right? You heard gunshots, so you ran to your car over here. You said you and mom were ducking.
No, she was. Wait, he was right here. He was right here. Once I started saying stuff, he ran right here. Once I saw him doing whatever, I told her, get away, get away. Once she got away, I was already right here and I started running. Once I grabbed it, when I came back right here, I'm telling you, I was screaming at her. Cause she was just standing there like they ain't gonna do nothing. And I kept screaming at her, get out of there. Once I heard the shot, yeah, I shot.
How many shots did you bring to shoot?
2, 3.
2, 3.
But when I heard it one time right here. But once I got right here, I heard him clearly. Because I was ducking and looking and I saw the flash. That's why I kept telling my mom, get behind the wheel. Because we were both ducking behind the car.
And you had not shot back at that point.
Oh yeah, I was shooting at that point. When my mom was already
How many times did you run to the fence with your gun?
that was the
I
first.
think you had the gun when you went up to the fence. That's what I think.
Because right now you're saying, whenever you heard the gunshots, you took off running out the gun. Then now you're saying, whenever you heard the gunshots, now you're saying that whenever you heard the gunshots, as soon as you heard them, start firing back. That's two completely different things. Which one is it?
I'm trying to make it, like I said, I'm trying to be calm and.
Well, it's a simple thing. I mean, you've been, so when you heard the gunshots, you ran back and did it.
You're conflicted with what you're trying to
I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you as much as I can, everything.
Yes, I did shoot, but I think you're trying to fix it so that it sounds a little bit better for you. All I need is the truth. That's it.
I was right here, mom. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so let me just hear. You're here. You see him, you have a gun, you tell mom. So you run all the way over here, then you run all the way back, then you run all the way over here, and then you run back again.
No.
Okay, so how did you run here, get a gun, you shoot, and then you come up here and shoot some more?
I didn't do that. We're just talking. He was yelling, whatever. he got a gun. Around mom's doing shot. And I hear what my mom started shooting again, he was when I said that.
Okay, so you're saying you guys are at the fence, talking shit,
Not, well, I wasn't, but he just,
okay, and then you jump off the fence, mom stays here, and you run all the way over here to get your gun by the toolbox inside the car. Was it front, back, or was it?
right there, right in front of the
Toolbox. So you get your gun from the toolbox.
You saw where you went in? Right there, right
Okay,
there.
toolbox. You hop off the fence, you run back here, you get your gun, you run here, you shoot, and then you come back here and you shoot some more. You told me a minute ago that the first time you shot was from here.
Well, like right here, so that's what I'm saying, like, I'm telling you, I'm trying to be calm and tell you the truth. I'm not sure if I started shooting because he scared the shit out of me. I know I shot right here, I know that.
The shot was when you got shot.
Because I heard him, when he shot at me, he shot at me back. That's why I told you the second or third time, I can hear the other rounds clearly because I was ducking the shooters.
Okay, so I'm still unclear about where you started firing.
Right here.
Okay, so you ran over here.
I can for sure tell you, I shot like at least maybe 2 or 3 right here, just right here on.
Okay, so you're at the fence. You jump off. Okay, hold on, Roger, because we're both talking. You jump off, you get your gun, you run back. And you fire several rounds, and then you and mom come over here and you.
I didn't shoot. Because, like I said, I was hesitating, but once I saw him, like I'm telling you, it's dark back there. When I saw the fire clearly, that's when I started shooting. Like
here.
Not them, right there. These were just like warning shots, and he shot at me, so I knew the way. There was no sound there. Things dead quiet. So I heard that first shot.
All right. So when you're here, you didn't shoot through the fence, you were shooting at the ground.
Yes, ma'am.
You shot 3 at the ground, you heard more.
Yes.
So you and mom came over here by the car,
Yeah.
took some cover, and then you were still firing because you heard more fire,
Yes, ma'am.
but you never saw a gun.
I just, like I said, I saw the flash, I saw the black when he had it, but I can't tell you if it was a revolver or what, because like I said, if he was like that, I was already running.
What I'm a little concerned with your story is that most people when they say, he had a gun, he pointed a gun at me, and I'll say, describe it. They'll say, I don't know, it was black. I don't know, it was this color. I don't know what kind of gun it was, it's black.
That's what I'm saying, if, believe me, I know my guns. I will tell you the make and everything, but I'm telling you, I did not see the make of the gun. All I saw.
If you don't know if it was a revolver, it was a semi-auto.
When he put on black, so I was like,
But you know what a revolver looks like, right?
roll around the chambers.
Right.
And like this. Yeah, that's why I said, Jerry, I would tell you if it had a silver.
And you can't tell me if it was one or the other.
No, I'm black. I'm not. He didn't have a white shirt, I think, on.
So let me ask you this, you said you heard the gunshot whenever you're going away from the fence line, but you needed to stand on top of the fence to see over just to see the guy, so how do you know he wasn't shooting at you?
Oh, believe me, they shot at me.
How do you know?
No, we don't
No.
need to know everybody shot at you. We need to know that this is.
Well,
How do you-
Shot at.
Because you told me, I'm not from what you hear, you told me you were running away. And you're below your fence line, because you already said that you needed to stand on your board at the bottom, that 2x4 to see over the fence, just to see him. So as you're running away, you told me you hear a gunshot. You already said you saw a black object you thought was a gun over there. You're running away, and you hear a gunshot. You're already below the fence line where you can't see him. How do you know he's shooting at you? The fights and noise, the fights and station, he was shooting at you at that point. No. Did you see him shooting at you? Brother, did you see him? It's a yes or no question, buddy. Did you see him shooting at you at that point?
No, sir. I heard it clearly, sir.
So you heard the
Shot,
gunshot.
but you did not see him shooting at you.
But I know. Yes, I heard the shot. I didn't see it.
Okay. One thing that I have is, I don't see anything going in your fence. I see yours going out of the fence.
No,
I'm wondering, did you just get so pissed off that somebody was talking shit to you, talking shit to your mama, you have this problem all the time? And then you just fucking lost it and you were like, you're not gonna fucking talk to me like that, boom, 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 into the ground, and then.
Because it happens, you said you're upset, you said it happens a lot, you said you don't like it. You said you fired into the dirt, why would you fire into the dirt? If somebody's shooting at me, I'm gonna shoot at them. But you're trying to fix, if somebody shoots at you, you shoot back into the dirt, that's makes sense.
My mindset at that time, sir. I didn't know everything is wrong at that time, I already knew that. I was hesitant to shoot at him, that's why I shot at the door.
Well, why were you hesitant? If you're telling me you think you should, actually, why are you hesitant?
You have to check. I know what happens, that's why I was hesitant to just go around and shoot him.
You're saying you know better, you're saying you understand, so you should know better that if somebody's shooting at you, that you're allowed to defend yourself. But at that point, you're shooting into the ground, that doesn't make sense, why are you shooting into the ground?
Normally, sir, when someone does stuff back there, you know, I will shoot at the ground. And then just eat.
So is that what happened? Did you see him back there on the fence and you shot him to the ground trying to scare him off?
No, he threw stuff at our gate. He was throwing. He was.
So is that why you shot him to the ground? I'm not doing stuff.
It's really because he threw it at me, and then I was only doing it wrong. Shoot it, no, nothing like that.
Well, I know you said you're not shooting at him when he's throwing the stuff at you. You already said you've done it before. You see people back there, you shoot him to the ground and scare them off. So when he's throwing stuff at you, did you shoot him to the ground and try to scare him
No,
off?
not at that point. When he shot, that's when I shot at the ground.
Okay, so when you heard the gunshots, that's when you started shooting.
Yes, sir. And then the other one, that's when I started just
But you heard
shooting.
the gunshots, you said you believed he was shooting at you, so you shot him to the ground. Right.
Because normally when
If
you do
somebody
that shit, you take it.
let me fucking shoot them point blank. If somebody's pointing a gun at me and boom, boom, I'm not gonna shoot into the fucking ground. I'm gonna point my fucking gun at you, I'm gonna shoot you back, right? Why would you shoot to the ground? Because I don't want to make a hole. I don't want to do no. That's like that shoot down. Somebody, he got the fucking 45 in his forehead. He's probably gonna die.
I know.
Okay, tonight, but he probably will die tomorrow.
I will tell you that people, right, I shot at him, I didn't know if I hit him enough, and all I know is I shot at him.
Why would you stay in the house? If you, the guy, he didn't drive far, so I'm sure that you saw.
I just went back in the house and I didn't tell him.
You hear the police? Units, the car downstairs, run, like, right? 100 yards from your house. You didn't see that. He did something wrong. Knock on your door. Why was I? Get out until an hour later. We never got a word from you until when I got there. Cops were there, truck was there, blood was there, EMS was there. We had everything. We had dogs, we had the helicopter. How did you not hear me of that and say, I'm gonna take my fucking ass out there, right? I don't want to stop. Instead, you stay in your house and you wait for me to come to you.
Like I said, it's the first time I've ever been in any incident now.
Right.
I don't know how to react.
Wouldn't a normal person say, I better get my ass out there and stop trying to hide in here? They're gonna listen.
I
appreciate that. But the officers have been there for an hour. I didn't get out there till an hour after the call. And you still hadn't come out.
I wasn't hiding from nobody, I was just there.
Were you afraid? I mean, it's totally, I don't mean that in a bad way. Were you afraid?
I'm just worried about my niece and my mom, because I'm the only one there taking care of them.
Well, that's not me, that's not getting at, buddy. So, I mean, why are you worried? If you're the only one taking care of them.
I mean, it's a lot of trouble. My niece and my sister's always been in drugs. They mess with certain guys. It's the same thing. So always either my mom and niece, because I got custody from my other nephew. I raised him. Then my other niece left her kid there. I have to take care of her full time when my mom works.
Detective Mondragon, Did you ever go back and speak with Roger?
In the same interview?
Yes.
You mean come back in? Not that I'm aware of, no.
And were you the detective who was going to handle this case?
I was handling the case that night, like I said. So our night investigator unit goes out, collects evidence, develops a victim, suspect information, all the other stuff. We put this together, and then from here, it would get forwarded to the follow-up investigative unit.
And are you familiar? What happens from there?
There, well, depending on what unit it goes to, in this particular case, I believe it went to homicide for aggravated assault. They would pick up the investigation from there and do what they need to on their end after this preliminary information is collected.
Now, I want to talk to you about the particular interview. Was there anything that Roger was, I guess, proper way to say it would be, he changed his story? Were there any points where that would happen?
Yes, based on the interview, he did not give the same account of the incident. He changed it multiple times and eventually would go back and add extra things to some of the stuff that he previously said.
Were there any particular areas that you noticed?
I guess from watching this, initially he said that he shot from one point. He kind of changed it that he shot from a different point. He stated that he shot into the ground. He said that he saw a gun and that he was being shot at. It didn't make sense from where he initially described that he could see over the fence to where he was when he claims that he was being shot at. It was questionable about the shell casings along the fence line. I'm sure there were more inconsistencies.
And do you remember you went out to the crime scene?
I do recall being at the crime scene. I couldn't tell you at this point in time exactly what I saw out there several years ago.
Fair enough. Ask the witness, Judge.
Right. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break at this point. This is the witness where there was a request from the defense that they proceed with their cross-examination tomorrow. So we'll start at 9:30 tomorrow, and we're starting at 9:30 instead of 9 because I have 3 cases on the docket that are holdovers from today. I say yesterday, but from today to take care of. So we'll start at 9:30. The thing about the garage, there are usually no jurors called up on Friday, so there's not 500 or more jurors. So if you're probably here by 8 or 9 o'clock, there should be a space for you in the parking garage. Remember my instructions. You're not to start to deliberating with yourself internally or deliberating with each other or talking about this case with anyone. If you see anything about this case, you're to ignore it. You're not to do any investigation. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from inside the courtroom. Does everyone understand? All right. So, and we're off the record. What I'm anticipating based upon what parties have informed me of, that you'll probably be able to begin your deliberations on Monday. So I just want everyone to plan for that. All right, because I know no one wants to go on Friday till midnight. So that's what I'm anticipating. And even though I have a docket on Monday, what will end up happening on Monday, if things go the way everyone thinks they will go, we'll have closing arguments at 9 a.m. And that way I can handle my docket after this case. All right. Any questions about anything? All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. All right, everyone can be seated. The rule has been invoked. What that means is you cannot discuss, thank you. You cannot discuss your testimony with anyone. The only persons you're allowed to speak to are attorneys for the state or the defense. All right. And defense, you said you believe there may be some issues.
Judge, I believe that there's an officer that we're trying to get here for tomorrow state was working on?
So I requested from our, because I know I CC'd you on the email deal. I requested from our written.
All right, who is the officer?
Cortinas?
Cortinas?
Yes.
What's the first name and badge number?
The badge number is, which I have it right here. I'm sorry, it's on my,
Do you know Cortinas?
it is Stephen Cortinas, 0128.
All right. If possible, and no one has any objection, I know they're trying to get that witness here for tomorrow for defense. If you're able to, if you can help facilitate that, any objections to her maybe helping to get the witness here?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, because I know I said no one's to talk to any witnesses, but sometimes when you work in SAPD, you know other officers who maybe know someone. So if they're unable to get in touch with the officer,
Judge, Rose just told me he confirmed.
I'm sorry?
He confirmed that he can be here tomorrow.
Ah, you're relieved of that duty. Thank you.
We're at 9:30.
I just said 9.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, so is there anything that needs to be heard with regards to this witness?
No.
Okay, all right, we'll see you tomorrow at 9:30. Thank you so much. Jessica, I have discovered that when officers are here and people are trying to get officers and nobody can get in touch, if you ask the officer who's on the witness stand, usually they say, oh, I'm going to see that person tonight,
I would.
at the job.
I would tend to agree with that. I thought you were using her IA connection.
No,
Like,
no.
I'm
Hey,
scared
can
that
you,
IA's calling. Can you,
No,
talk
no.
to here? That's what made me giggle.
All right, I'll see you all tomorrow at 9:30. And could everyone check their emails?
Sorry, Judge.
Oh, you all received it? Okay. And if there are any issues with that, if you all will email me
Okay.
and we can discuss it on